at Diamond Dave, Kantor.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down. Slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pegol is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
It's fall football season, and Kasai Japanese Steakhouse is doubling down. Now with 2 Valley locations. When it comes to Asian cuisine, no one does it better and more authentic than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse isn't just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where a delicious 7-course meal is prepared right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Happy hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on their Asian-inspired comfort food like Korean steak tacos, Mongolian barbecue ribs, and signature Wagyu beef sliders. Always a memorable dinner, or catch the game and a bite at the bar at Kasai. Now with 2 locations, Scottsdale Road in Thunderbird and in Peoria at the 101 in Northern. Go to KasaiTeppan.com. That's KASAI Teppan.com, or search Kasai on your mobile phone.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Thursday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Berg, who is watching us on our YouTube feed, says, someone tell Keon to look up the glare time again. It's just the sun moves through the sky, comes to the blinds, and if anything, that's artistic. It's like in the 80s. Remember in the 80s? Anytime there was a movie and somebody was being really thoughtful or get it on.
Fan filter in the background.
Yeah, they were either getting it on or being very thoughtful, and you see the light coming through the blinds. A lot of Venetian blinds going on in the 80s. So, but anyway, Keon doesn't care. He doesn't care.
Yeah. Also, they're closed. There's not really anything I can do. They're closed. I closed them.
I know too well, Keon. I worked in there for a long time.
Ron is not Jerry Jones. We want curtains. He'll give us curtains.
Yeah, curtains, but I don't mind enough to. It's fine. I really don't care.
They will be installed immediately. So, all right, everybody. Happy National Stuffing Day. I don't know why today is National Stuffing Day.
Like it's a week early.
Yeah, well, I think it's just to get you ready for the main event next Thursday of turkey and stuffing and stuff like that. And it was weird because I kind of looking at this thing. I'm like, do I really want to talk about Stuffing Day? And I thought probably nobody cares about Stuffing Day. But then I saw on Google 3 states specifically have been searching stuffing the most, and it's us. It's Arizona, California, and West Virginia. Don't know why.
I was thinking, okay, maybe it's like a West Coast thing.
No idea.
And then West Virginia just threw me off. I got nothing.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Well, there's a couple other states who are Googling more unique versions. Sourdough stuffing is being Googled in the Massachusetts, and pineapple stuffing in New Mexico. I think everyone who lives there is on drugs. And because why would you want pineapple stuffing?
They're a little different Yeah, in New Mexico.
I guess it's supposed to be popular with people serving ham, maybe. I don't know. And then somebody looked at, hey, croissant stuffing. Like, oh, just shut up and make stuffing. My wife, of course, getting ready to make her famous green bean casserole, which I guess she's not the only person famous for it, but hers is really damn good. And so a lot of people are Googling that. And
now, what did she put in the green bean casserole, Jeffco?
Green beans.
Well, I know that, but I mean, what other accoutrements follow along beside the green bean?
No idea.
Mushroom soup?
No idea. I don't ask questions when it comes to that because
onion crispies on the top there.
I don't want to ruin the magic, because if I ask and then she starts listing stuff off and anything sounds the least bit unhealthy, she might go, on second thought. And then I've ruined Thanksgiving for everybody.
I see what you're saying there. I see what you're saying.
So I'm not asking questions.
Good point, Jeffco.
By the way, this is the time of year that I take. It's a kind of a tradition for me that I let everybody know that sweet potatoes and yams are not the same damn thing.
What are they?
Well, they're not the same thing. Sweet potatoes and yams. Sweet potatoes are sweet potatoes and yams are yams. I'm going to be honest. I don't know. All I know is they're two different species of root vegetable, very different backgrounds. And outside of Thanksgiving, very different uses. The U.S. government, I guess, perpetuated the error of labeling sweet potatoes with orange flesh yams, but they're still sweet potatoes. Yams are actually uncommon here in the United States. They're native to Africa and Asia. And they have a dark, almost black bark-like skin with purple, white, reddish flesh. And they can grow up to 7 feet long. And by the way, they're not sweet. So that's it. I don't know. That's all I know. Don't ask me.
That is all truth. What Jeffrey just spoke is all truth.
Let's just have some yams. That's all I'm saying. Latina Leprechaun says, hey, what do you have against croissant stuffing? I make a mean croissant Italian sausage stuffing every Thanksgiving, mixed with Irish whiskey and jalapenos. It's a very confused dish.
Wow.
That dish is getting fights outside the check cashing place. That's what that sounds like to me. That's a dish that just regularly is getting into scuffles outside of a check cashing place.
That dish.
Yeah.
You're saying.
Yeah. Miss Wilbur says, hey, can we ask Moist one? No. I'm going to stop you right there.
The rest of that sentence doesn't even matter.
No. As you should. Yeah.
D-Banks After Dark says alpha males can't coexist with Jerry Jones. So scratch Coach Bill Belichick and Coach Deion Sanders. Yeah. Man, I don't know.
Yeah, Jerry's never, since firing Jimmy, Jerry hasn't hired a coach that would challenge him on anything.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
When was the last guy? Jason Garrett?
Well, he clapped a lot.
Well, he's the clapper.
Yeah.
Clapper.
That was it. That was how he expressed himself.
And Mike McCarthy wasn't going to argue or fight anything. So
I'm surprised that he hasn't been doing a lot of the clapping on the NBC.
Well, I don't even notice, but they've zip tied his wrists down to his sides. So he probably wants to clap, but is incapable because of the zip ties.
I could see that. Yeah.
So Wilbur, no. Again, no. We're not going to ask Moist One what he thinks about while stuffing into a dark cavernous turkey. We're not talking about that. Big George says, hello, Big George.
Hi, Big George.
He says, our local basketball teams. Yeah. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that in a second. Well, all right, let's get to it now because we got a lot of football to talk about today.
But wait a minute. Wait. He's in San Diego. It's not his local basketball teams. I'm sorry. It would be the San Diego State Aztecs and some other community college there in the San Diego area. It would not be the Phoenix Suns. There is not his local basketball. Big George and I are in a bit of a skirmish right now.
Well, he's claiming to move here. He says he'll be moving here soon.
I've heard that before.
I'm just saying he used to live here for a long time.
Well, he did.
It's
not his local basketball team.
He's trying to fit in with everybody else here.
He can't. He lives in San Diego.
I mean, it's bad enough he's 7 feet. He don't fit in much places. But at least let him fit in here.
Well, he can fit in here, but look, he's a guy that needs to. He needs to. He has to duck when he comes inside the studio there. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, he used to live here, but he no longer. He's got to be exact with his speech, and facts. Otherwise,
We got
he won't
lots of
be a very
people
good lawyer.
who are still fans of the sports around here,
Well,
and
it's
they
okay
live
to be
other
a-
places.
Be a fan, but don't call it a local basketball team. Like the Diamondbacks would not be his local baseball team. It would be the Padres, would it not?
He's homesick, Randy. He's homesick.
Well, let him be homesick, but
But
be
then
accurate.
again, I've seen him go on social media and say, "My Padres, our
Yes.
Southern Californian whatevers."
Yes.
No,
Mhm.
you're right. Pick a place, George. We're getting tired of your crap.
Thank you.
That said, let's talk about our local teams.
Not George's, though.
Last night went as expected with the Phoenix Suns. I turned it on about the second quarter, and I'm just like, oh, geez.
Right.
They
That was
were
hard.
up by 21 points. The Knicks
hard-
were up by
hard to
21
watch.
points. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, this ain't going to get better. And I was right because
Bro-
it ended up 138 to 122.
Brunson and Cat combined for
Yeah.
70 points.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, listen, when your key players are hurt, this is what you get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
You just have to weather the storm. You just have to kind of work your way through it. You've got to put up the umbrella and just keep walking forward because eventually KD's coming back. Eventually, the rest of the team is going to come back.
Listen, Kevin Durant missed his 7th straight game. Bradley Beal, he was out for the 5th straight game. So we're not a fully realized team. What we can do is hope these guys get healthy and come back, and then we get back to our winning ways.
Yeah,
that's it. Everybody else who's delighting and gloating and being happy. Donnie, of course. Here comes the excuses. He says last week the Suns were good. Now it's injuries. Well, yes,
Donnie. Do you have eyes? It would
So
almost be like
that's
if the Timberwolves went on a losing streak and Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle were hurt, and then we said, well, last week the Timberwolves were good and now it's injuries. Like, yes, because if you're missing those guys, your team is not good.
The Lakers, same thing. As much as we like to poke fun at them, when all their players are there, they're a force to be contended with. That's it. You, however, Donnie, are predictable, and I'm tired. Moist One says, Brunson and Cat, Steve Berthume's mouth is watering. Okay.
I don't know if I understand that one, and I don't know what to think about it.
So anyway, last night went as expected. And listen, if we keep it somewhat closer competitive, then that's great when you got all these injuries. But we weren't expecting to win this one. We were expecting to win ASU over Cal Poly Mustangs 93-89. And you guys, this Josen Sannon guy comes out again and has a good game. And Quayton's had a double-double. And, it was a solid game. A little closer than you'd like to see it. But still, you got the W. That's all that matters when you're ASU, because we're not the basketball school. We're supposed to be the football school. This year, where everything is right.
Yeah, right. Right now, you're 5-1. You go ahead and take that and don't question it too hard. And of course, like, it's good to see the freshmen going out there and playing well and contributing the way that they're supposed to. Like, you're not going to see Quayton's necessarily show up on the offensive side of the stat sheet, but the guy has done what he needs to do defensively to really help this team anchor down. And well, I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah. So all right. So we're fine. We're fine. ASU is now 5-1. We're undefeated at home. That's cool. Everything is fine with where ASU is at the moment. This was also unexpected. How the hell do you get fired on your day off, GCU? How did that it's UC Davis. It's UC Davis. How did this happen? How did GCU lose to UC Davis? What is wrong with GCU right now?
Well, in that particular game, they just didn't get started well at all. Like, they were not taking care of the basketball, and that led to some early turnovers that put them into an early hole. So by the time they started to actually scrap back in the second half, it looked like the GCU that was supposed to show up in the first half, they dug a hole so deep they weren't able to get back out of it. And that was a big problem. You can't show up flat against schools like this because you're the team they want to beat. You're the guys that they've circled on the schedule. And I assure you, they had a fun time beating GCU. These guys were in the tournament last year. We're going to beat them. Like that. That's the mindset that you have to come in if you're UC Davis, and they did.
So UC Davis shows up, and in the first half, they're just going crazy. And GCU's like, whoa, they were down by 9, they were down by 11 at the half.
Yeah.
And so then GCU comes like, all right, let's get back to work. And they start doing okay. But by then the damage is done and they can't overcome that deficit. Not great for the Lopes. They're now 2-2.
Yeah. And in the post-game interview, man, Bryce Drew sounded mad. Like just
has every right to be, because this is a team that is more talented. That is it just young? Are these guys younger? Is it? I mean,
no,
how is this happening?
I mean, there's a little bit of chemistry stuff. Obviously, you've got some guys that you got through the transfer portal that are on this team now that weren't there a year ago. Kind of have to figure out how to get their roles involved. Tyon Grant Foster coming back from an injury, and so like this is his second game back, and he still looks a little rusty. But like those aren't great excuses, because you still have the other guys out there that you rely on and that have been on this team for 2, some of them 3 years. So there's enough there. GCU should have been able to be more competitive in this basketball game and play the best basketball that they're capable of playing. They simply did not do that. And I have a feeling that it won't happen again.
Just reminded me of one of my favorite lines ever in a movie. I've been going to this high school for 7.5 years. I'm no dummy. So the Berg says there's always the Valley Suns too. Go Suns. Okay.
G League team.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about that. He says, I had no idea that when I had my stuffing potato chips today, that it was stuffing day. Yep. National Stuffing Day. And look at that. He sent me a picture of stuffing flavored wavy potato chips. What do they taste? I mean, do they taste like stuffing? Do they taste good? Is that good stuff? I don't know. That seems intriguing, Berg. Moist One says, Mr. Potter is a damn good play-by-play guy. Oh, yeah. Michael Potter. Randy and I have known him since rocks were soft.
Yeah.
We were all at the same radio station back 1.5 million years ago. He went the way of play-by-play, and we went this dumb way. So they wouldn't let us do play-by-play.
No.
I can't imagine why.
Yeah, me either, really. I'm really sad and disappointed about that.
I really thought we were pretty good on play-by-play, but
they didn't ask us.
I don't think it's that you guys would be bad. I think
asked us to leave.
Associated shenanigans that I don't think that they'd go for.
They asked Potter to stay, and we had to leave. So,
sir. Stockton Slap says, excuses. Lakers have had plenty of injuries, and they're on a 6-game winning streak.
To their stars, because Anthony Davis was out for a game. Has LeBron missed any time at all?
No.
You got connect.
Okay, so let's not compare those apples and oranges.
Listen, that kid. I don't know what you guys think of him. But I got to tell you, I believe that kid is going to be a superstar.
Which kid?
league.
Connect. Yeah. Maybe he'll be able to afford to buy a vowel to make his name not so.
That kid can shoot the eyes right out of the net, boy. I got to tell you. He is something special. I wish the Suns would have picked him up. Wow.
Yeah, well, the Suns did draft Ryan Dunn, who is pretty good. And for what the Suns need defensively, you live with it.
Dun. Underpainter. We have a guy named the Underpainter now. The Underpainter says, should I start Crazy Njoku from the Browns or Big J Johnson from the Dolphins? Anyone? Well, you probably should save that question for 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
5 o'clock, we'll have
Mr. the King.
Scott, the Fantasy Football King, Ingle with us, answering your fantasy football questions. So I think you should probably hold on to that question.
Where the hell's Ralph today? How come he's
late? He said he was going to be late.
I wore this hat specifically so he could see it.
Well, that'll show him.
Yeah.
Booger Wolf says, I'm amazed that Donna has the time to text in right now. The filling for his family's elk steam pies takes a week to make. Bunch of gross nasties. Is he calling Donnie Donna?
I guess.
I think he is.
The filling for his family's elk steamed pies takes a week to make. Where's this? Where do you get this stuff? Skosh says, did we ever settle on a texture nickname?
Yeah,
Scotia Scott? No, you're just Skosh, man. You're Skosh.
Skosh.
I'm spelling it Skoshe. So people know how to say it phonetically if they ever see it on the text line. Skosh. Skosh. But I have the E at the end because it makes the O, instead of
Skosh.
Skosh. It's skosh.
Yeah.
I don't know. There might have been a better way to do this.
Oh, well.
At least it's not scrote. Big Jake says, didn't we actually get dun in a trade from Denver?
I mean, yeah, but on draft day. It was a draft day trade.
So we drafted him.
Yeah.
Moist One says, tell him to read the text line during the Lopes game. I have some great lines for him. He doesn't see the text line, and we would never allow you access to Michael Potter. He is a good Christian man. And the last thing he never needs is to lay his eyes upon your texts. And he will turn to this big calcified herpy if he ever did that. Kind of like Job turned to a pillar of salt. We're not doing that to Michael Potter.
A calcified
Herpy. That's right.
All right.
So he will never see your text, Moist One. Skosh says, you have a Minnesota Timberwolves fan on the text line, huh? Oh, they're going to lose tonight to the Toronto Raptors. We don't care about that. Just,
yeah.
It's great, Skosh. All right. Little pat. We need a sound effect where I give somebody a pat on the head. Like pat.
Try to do a little friendly trash talk and
Ding, 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 ding.
just instantly deflated.
We, you know why I don't care about Toronto? It's Drake. This is mostly Drake. Just don't care. Don't care. Big George, I saw that. He says, how about Arizona women's basketball getting blown out by the NAU women's basketball team? Is that rude of me? Because they're ladies. Or can I be maniacally happy that Arizona sucks across the board?
No, you're allowed to. There's no gender qualifications for laughing at Arizona. They're hilarious.
I feel like it just might be, ungentlemanly of me to go.
Hey! I don't know. It's because it's basketball. Everything's fair in basketball.
They came up against the NAU women's basketball and they methed up.
That's a good one. Oh,
just made that up right there.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
That's a good one.
Commando Duke says you three would make great play-by-play team. Well, I know, but how would this work? I mean, how would this work? If we were like you guys have to come in and fill in, you have to do the play-by-play. Who would do what? Would you be the main guy talking, or would I be the guy?
No, I think Keon would be.
He'd be the
analyst.
analysis.
Yeah. He'd be the analyst guy.
But I don't know if I can read the names on the back of the jerseys fast enough or correctly. So I might have a lot of people. But
that'd be one of those. You got to make a chart. I mean,
I've seen the ones they use. I've seen them on TV. And Moist One says, no, Keon would do the play-by-play. Jeffrey would be Dennis Miller, and Randy would be John Madden. I don't think John Madden and Dennis Miller would have gotten along very well. Mostly because John Madden would not have understood most of what Dennis Miller said.
And it would have bothered him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Randy and I, we do good. Can't we just be Randy and Jeffrey? I mean, is that good? Is that not good enough for you people? I'm just saying.
I mean, I hope so, because that's what this is.
I mean, I can do play-by-play. I can talk pretty fast. Would you rather do the play-by-play, or would you rather sit there and give the anal analysis?
I could do either, because I've done both. So it could go either way. Unless it's baseball, in which case I can't be the main person in baseball. I'm bad at it.
So if we did a football game, here's the thing. I would just call it as I see it. It was like, oh my God, did you see they just destroyed that guy? I'd be like doing that real time.
Yeah.
If it's on radio, it might be, I don't know how we would do that. I don't know. Because there's no reason for me if I'm not doing more. I don't have the analysis.
Yeah, so you would be the main guy.
I don't know. I'm sure that you're probably more qualified.
I just want to work the telestrator. That's all I want to do.
We could both have a crayon.
A crayon?
Yeah, or whatever they call that thing. It's probably why they've never asked us to do it.
How long before we're off the air if either of you got to run the telestrator?
Here's what's the over under on how long would it take for a telestrated penis to show up?
That's the thought I had. I was like,
or boobies.
Just it's like you
Well, Randy'd be like, well, okay, you see this quarterback, he's going to run around like this, but the wide receiver is going to be right there in the middle, and it's going to be a duplicated thing over here, and you're going to have a wide receiver in the middle, and then you'll have the running back coming up the middle here.
Why am I writing?
It went
the
from
boobies
looking
on
like
the screen?
boobies to now the running back is going to grow, the tight end is going to go, and then that created the penis.
and we are oh boy, technical difficulties. Cut to
Let's go to tone and bars right there.
might be the shortest, football broadcast of all time.
All right. Well, in that case, you're not allowed to have the telestrator. All right.
Okay.
Listen, we're running late for a break, and Ralph is trying to find his way onto the show. So since he's here right now, it's a good time to go to a break. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. This update brought to you by Sport Trade. Download the Sport Trade app and use code VSIN to earn 10% cash back on every bet in your first week. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
College football, Arizona State will be home in Tempe on Saturday as they take on BYU. Both teams are ranked in the top 25. The Sun Devils at 8-2 are ranked 21st, while the Cougars at 9-1 are ranked 14th. Arizona State has won 4 of its last 5 games. They're a 3-point home favorite, minus 155 on the money line. BYU getting the 3 points, minus 105 against the spread, and plus 135 on the money line. The over-under at Mountain America Stadium is at 48.5 with the over minus 105 and the under minus 115. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
The Fanatic is your home for fall football. Catch the NFL and NCAA live games on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Brought to you by Bet365. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
When you're hiring, ZipRecruiter's technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. What if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
My name is Mary Grace. There are a few misconceptions about Alzheimer's. It's not just memory loss. It's the loss of mobility, the risk of falling.
For more information, contact the Alzheimer's Association at alz.org. Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
Thursday night football is live on The Fanatic.
Pittsburgh heads to the capital of rock and roll for a Thursday night showdown with the Browns. Will the Browns double down on upsets this season, having already taken down the Ravens? Or will that tough, stubborn Pittsburgh defense be too much? Steelers at Browns, 5:30 Thursday.
Your home for the NFL in the Valley is 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic and 1580thefanatic.com.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Speaking of play-by-play guys, Hubie Brown is going to call one last NBA game, and then he's going to retire. The dude is like 90 what? 91.
Yeah, Hubie's he's been doing it for a long time.
He's the only person that can call Al Michaels a punk ass bitch and actually be like,
And what's Al gonna say?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Probably nothing, because he'll be taking a nap at the time that Hubie says something to him.
Speaking of punk ass bitches, hey, look, it's Ralph from Harmon Solar.
Wow.
I just trying to find a good segue to get you in.
That's not it.
It worked. Somehow it worked. Well, we were talking about like if the Daily Blender were going to do the play-by-play for a game, who would do what? I think, Ralph, we'd make you be the sideline reporter.
Can't keep it up. I mean, your mic.
Yeah. That's why you'd be a sideline reporter, because you only have about like 3 minutes of good things to say in any given hour of show. So
I could do sideline reporting. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah. And
I could just piss people off.
That's what I thought. And then it's like, you're like, where is he?
Oh, yeah.
And he's ducked in the blue
on a
tent.
stretcher.
Or that.
He's in the blue tent.
Good thing there's medical people around.
Broadcast would be the highest rating broadcast of all time,
Oh, I
or
think so. Yeah.
pulled off the air in 15 minutes. It's hard to tell.
There's no
exactly
middle
what- yeah.
ground. Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that gets said on the sidelines during game. I mean, my son does security sometimes for ASU games, and he was at the was it Kansas, I think, and boy, he was talking to some of those players, and you can't repeat what they were saying. It's
Oh man,
yeah,
That sounds fun.
it was good.
So let's clean up the text line real fast here. Let's see. Donnie says the Timberwolves are going to lose to the Raptors. He says, ha 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 ha. I'll leave the text line for the rest of 2024 if that happens.
Oh, bye.
Go Raptors.
That just suddenly made Jeffrey a Raptors fan.
Yeah.
Jeffrey hasn't cared about what has happened in the city of Toronto ever.
No.
Maybe in his whole life.
Nope.
Suddenly the biggest Raptors fan that you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can just hit this block button right here. It's just right there. I can just do that. Magnificent Mr. Mormon says, I like this Michael Potter guy. He's my kind of announcer. He says, gosh darn and heck. All curse words for us Mormons. So he's kind of edgy, I think, for the Mormons.
Yeah, there you go.
Quiet Cannon says, how about call him Scotch on the rocks? Sounds like a cold climate, you know. We're just calling him Scotch. Scotch, that's it. We're not changing it. Unless he really pitches a fit. Chief Skulls says, good afternoon, gentlemen. I say you're more like the Tonight Show than a play-by-play team. We're not trying to be Tonight Show. We're just talking about if we're going to be a play-by-play team.
I can see that. I could definitely see that. You're like Johnny, and Randy's like Ed.
Well, then who are you bastards?
Keon would be the cameraman because, you know, it was the 70s. And
well, damn. Then no, not even an attempt to update things.
no, I was keeping it in the 70s.
No,
it was Johnny Carson.
Listen, he's a conservative. He wants everything to be back like that. We're living in 2024.
You know that was good.
I don't know. He's not musical, so he can't be the band leader.
I'd be done.
Why couldn't he be like Questlove?
You're not musical, Ralph.
I'm a drummer.
Okay, like he said, being a drummer, I can say you're not musical. We're not
Right.
musical.
We can keep a beat.
We're the timekeepers, the time lords, but we're not musical.
Well, we'd make I don't know. Keon would be like the guy standing there, like the producer guy, or we'd like let him be the announcer or
I'm
something.
trying to save it. Right?
I don't know.
Well, yeah.
I was just being honest,
you,
Keon.
you put it in peril. Like, you
I was
just
being
showed up
honest.
on the show and just went, you know what? Not the version of the show from now. The version of the show from 1970 when no one wanted to see you on screen because we've just gotten out of
Because that's how
the
Ralph
Jim
likes
Crow
it.
South. Yeah, that's what
I'm
that's what
just
we're
saying. I'm talking Johnny, so that's the 70s. I mean,
Let's just say if we ever have a party bus ride with Ralph, you already know what you're going to have to say. Because it's Ralph's. Shame on you,
I'm
Ralph.
gonna have to decline.
Yeah.
come on, I need to fill the back seats.
No, well,
Host a sit-in.
we're going back to the play-by-play idea.
Rosa Parks you.
You just-
What have I fallen into today?
I'll sit wherever I want.
Rosa Parks you. I love it.
that sounds like
That
a
was good,
t-shirt.
dude.
I'm going to Rosa Parks your ass.
That'd be a good shirt.
Chief Skulls says, good afternoon, gentlemen. I read that. Big Jake says Sammy Levitt's Furniture will lead ASU to a home dub over the Holy BYUs this weekend. Yeah, we hope so. We're not bragging on it. We're not guaranteeing anything. And listen, again, yeah, that's great if they win this weekend. It's great. But next weekend matters. Next weekend is what matters. We are going to participate mightily in Hate Week. I mean, we kind of do all the time.
as always.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, that's
that's not even new.
it's a Tuesday for
Well,
us.
this week matters big time.
Next week matters more.
No, not if you want to win that conference or be right there. I mean,
Don't care.
No. Jeffrey just cares about beating the Wildcats.
Just want to beat the meth
That's
heads.
just.
I mean,
that's
ASU is actually good this year.
No, they are
yeah.
good.
yeah.
I
They're
want to
relevant.
accidentally find us and like, oh, did we do that? But that's fine.
Yeah.
I purposely want another 70-7 over you, Arizona.
You might get that.
You might get that.
And I think you probably will.
I
They're
sure
pretty
hope
bad.
so.
They're pretty bad.
But you never know what's going to happen. So,
That's the
This is a
thing with
big game.
rivalry games.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This week's a big game.
so Booger Wolf says Randy would be John Madden, Jeffrey would be Pat Summerall, Keon would be the butthole in the middle.
What? See, at least I didn't
That
say
was
that.
that was worse than what?
Yeah,
no,
so-
wasn't worse. He just called you a butthole. I mean,
That
Ralph's
is
just
worse.
being a racist.
No, that's worse.
It's yeah. I think that's worse somehow. I don't know how. It feels,
Congratulations, Booger Wolf.
It feels worse.
It does feel worse.
And then Ralph, I guess, would be the butthole on the field. So, Commando Duke says Randy on the telestrator for sure. Maybe not.
I can see that.
Maybe not.
That'd be fun.
Like I said,
Like doing the weather.
Guaranteed 15-minute broadcast. There will be an entire game, but we won't show it all.
Well, I mean, what would happen is they would roll the intro as soon as we started talking, and let's go to Randy on the telestrator. And then as soon as I hit the telestrator, bars and tone. I'm just telling you, that's what would happen from there.
That's why we're not going to let you have it.
Yeah.
So Commando Duke says, Keon, you're the serious one, so you could talk the stuff. Jeffrey'd bring the jokes. Randy'd be Randy. That's the way you do it. He says, we're not listening for names on the back of jerseys. Bullseye says, so did you, oh my God, this is one of the longest texts we've ever seen. Can you condense that, Bullseye? Because I just don't, we've only got 2 hours left.
Bullseye decided to write War and Peace.
Yeah, could you just summarize? Could you Reader's Digest it just and maybe never copy and paste something like that again? Big George says Jeffrey would do play-by-play. Keon would do the color commentary. Why would Keon do the color commentary?
That's
George?
racist.
Yeah,
that's
George.
racist. And why is he only talking about colors?
What's that about?
Randy, the pre and post game show, and Ralph would be the Steve Kornacki of the broadcast, and Jen in accounting would be the hot female sideline reporter. Keep telling you people she doesn't exist. Fish Tank says, but the time is now. I've never been a Raptors fan, but the time is now. Yes, Fish Tank. Skosh says, so how do you spell Skosh? Is it like Scotia? Would you just stop?
Is he not hearing the broadcast today?
It was completely explained when he asked the first time.
I even spelled it out, man. Skoshe. That's it. That's it. He says, I'm fine with the name. That's good, because now you've annoyed me enough where I'm never changing it. Devil Hawk says, Ralph would be happy if we go back to the 50s when segregation was a thing.
Depends on what your race is.
Oh, really? So
his race, yes.
Which
Because I want to
race
make sure he's hurting.
Whose race?
Whoever just said that.
Oh, Devil Hawk?
Yes.
I don't know.
Because if he's going to be a smart aleck, I'm going to be one back. So.
Magnificent Mr. Mormon says, ooh, sad news. The Boeing company has laid off 184 employees in Mesa. I still have a job, but a lot of my friends and colleagues were let go. It's a tough day out there.
That sucks.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, maybe now you guys will make better things and have doors not flying off stuff.
Oh, wow.
It's probably not the 184 people's fault, but
no, because I think he said before they don't do the commercial Boeing stuff here. So
why are they punishing those people that work on the military aircraft?
So they're already not helping the situation.
They need to fire everyone who ever worked on the Starliner, and then also every commercial passenger plane that fell apart. If it fell apart, everybody who touched it should be gone. Just saying.
No.
Latina Leprechaun says, question for Ralph, where is USC in the Big Ten title race?
It's an imaginary race, but they're there. They're done. I mean, yeah, they've lost too many one-score games. I mean, they're done.
Where are you guys in? The Big Joke? The Big Ten?
We're in the Big Ten. Only the best conference in football, yeah.
Well, then let's see here. USC.
No thanks to USC, but
no, not at all this year. You're right.
You guys are 5-5, 3-5 in conference, but you're way down there.
They just went with a new quarterback last week that won, but he's interesting. But again, they're not that good. They're not terrible, but
they're not the worst team. Yeah, they're 500 for a reason. Like, they're not the worst team.
They've been in some close games with some top 10 teams, but they just couldn't finish the games.
Is Lincoln Riley going to keep his job?
It's a really good question.
I'd say he will.
I don't know.
I'd say he will, but
he's got one more year at the most.
He's got one more year, and that defensive coordinator that he hires, whoever that is, they've got to get it right.
Well, that guy they have now is pretty good.
Yeah,
the guy they got from UCLA.
And then maybe they've got to recruit on that side of the ball.
I mean, that defense has massively improved from last year.
Magnificent Mr. Mormon says that, yes, we work on the Apache helicopters, strictly U.S. defense contract. The commercial passenger planes are assembled in Washington, D.C. Well, then that's bull crap.
That explains it.
184 people that let go off the defense contract. That ain't right. That ain't right at all. Fish Tank says, I love when the show already feels like a Friday show 30 minutes into a Thursday broadcast. By the way, I need a beer. Give that man a beer. Booger Wolf says, Keon won't read my texts on his precious little betting show, so I'm giving him the razzmatazz for a bit.
Your texts are stupid, and I don't read stupid texts.
Wow.
I hope that answers your question.
Well, he
Clears
said,
everything
look
up.
at the text 5 messages back, and it's like, well, he just said your texts are stupid.
That's segregation.
so-
It's
I mean,
stupidity segregation, but still.
You've really got to stop, Ralph.
It's just you've leaned way too hard into that joke. We have all moved on.
I'm just saying, I
it's
can't
just-
move on.
It's
Well,
just-
obviously.
yeah, we've noticed. Yeah,
All right.
no, but if Booger Wolf
Ever
would-
heard of Back to the Future?
if Booger Wolf would text about the sports we were talking about, in fact, the sports we're not talking about, I'd read his texts. He just texts dumb stuff. I don't read it. I don't. What for? For who? For what?
I'll read anything.
Isn't he a Lions fan?
Booger Wolf?
well,
I don't even
No, he's a
think
Niners fan.
49ers fan. I think.
Oh, you suck. Hope you enjoyed last week.
Are you really going to crow
Oh, heck yeah, I'm going to crow.
about
I'm going to
that?
crow and stomp about it. Absolutely.
For real?
in the
course.
division? Yeah, no,
Absolutely.
Hold on here.
If he was
Seahawks.
close enough, my foot would be somewhere.
You're tied with everybody but the Cardinals.
Till this week when we
basically.
beat the Cardinals. But yeah,
Allegedly.
allegedly.
The weather is. Here's the thing. I heard there was some weather up there. There was what
Probably
do they-
gonna
What do
rain
they
here.
call that storm? A some kind of tornado or
Atmospheric
It's a
river.
cyclone.
yeah, whatever it is. Bad weather. Is that going to be a factor in the game? Because the people up there, for whatever reason, in a place that rains almost as much as the damn rainforest, was like, nah, we don't need a roof. So okay, I can't imagine. I can't
Called the home field
imagine
advantage.
that it's how
You take advantage of your environment.
If
But
it's cold, and-
everybody's wet.
If you're cold,
Yeah, but if
you're
you're
used to it, and they're not.
This whole used to it thing.
Arizona's
is-
not used to it.
As
Bomb
opposed
cyclone.
to Jerry's windows, where just if it just blinds
close
you,
the damn things.
you never get used to it either.
Right.
That's
Is that weather going to affect the game this weekend?
That was what I was asking.
That's Randy's the weatherman, not me.
Randy, can you check the weather forecast for
Allegedly.
Seattle?
Seattle.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's going to rain.
It's
That's
in
it.
Washington.
That's all you need to know.
Seattle. It's going to
I mean,
rain.
He doesn't care.
It's gonna rain.
He doesn't care who loses because, his team is sitting atop the NFC West. So for
Well, he
the
cares.
Niners and the Seahawks and the Rams, he's got a big old bag of who gives a bleep.
Unless they lose this weekend.
they are playing
This
the Seahawks
weekend, it's raining in 48 right now, and on Sunday, it'll be 48, and they're calling for 65% of rain.
So
So
it's going to rain.
It's going to be slickery. It's going to
yeah,
love it.
not so much wind; it's just rain. So
Good.
All right. Well,
see.
so bomb cyclone. We'll see. That might have an effect. We'll find out from the king of fantasy football if he thinks that will have effects on the defenses. I know that some of the weather games that are out there have caused him to change some of his rankings on certain defenses. So that'll be something we'll have to ask him about when he shows up. Right now, let's take a break. We'll come back. A little more of the Daily Blender before we get into the NFL version. That's right. In the 4:00 hour, we'll do our Harmon Solar NFL fan pick'em picks. 5 o'clock, we got Scott, the fantasy football king, Engel. So we're getting into week 12, right? Yeah, week 12.
Yeah.
The Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
At Diamond Dave's Desert Wholesale Diamond,
we offer incredible diamonds, both mined and cultivated, all at amazingly low prices.
check out these cultivated lab-grown diamond earrings.
2 carats total weight, collection color and lab grown, only $25.90.
And she'd love this amazing tennis bracelet in natural mined.
4 carats total weight in yellow or white gold, only $39.90.
And how about this diamond chain in cultivated?
12.5 carats total weight, collection color and lab grown, only $79.90.
And last but not least, especially this year, 1.5 carat floating diamond pendant.
Collection color and lab grown, only $9.90.
Call, email, or message us for an in-person appointment.
Or sit back and relax for free FedEx shipping anywhere in the USA.
Call Diamond Dave at 480-397-2450. That's 480-397-2450. Or follow him on Instagram at Diamond Dave Cantor. That's at Diamond Dave, Kantor.
Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. Did you know Harmon Solar has gone super high tech? There's an amazing tool at harmonsolar.com that'll give you an instant ballpark solar estimate using satellites from space. You just type in a little information, and within seconds, you'll have an idea of just how little money it takes to save big on that monthly electric bill. I did it, and within seconds, they measured my roof and calculated my savings. It's very impressive. Go to HarmonSolar.com and give it a try yourself. That's HarmonSolar.com.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Terms and conditions apply.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, the credit card bill came and we're maxed out.
Great. Maxed out cards, rent is due, bills are piling up. We just need some extra cash to help us get by for a few weeks.
We should do what my brother did. He went to billshappen.com and got $3,000 the next day.
With our bad credit, I don't think so.
Billshappen.com is different. They are one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
I'm sure there's a lot of paperwork.
Nope, my brother said it was easy. He did it right from his phone.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000 in minutes, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. Bills Happen's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Great news. I went to billshappen.com and we will have our money as soon as tomorrow.
Wow, that is fast.
If you need extra cash, go to billshappen.com. That's billshappen.com. Billshappen.com.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Arizona's new home for sports.
Today, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. So Travis Hunter has said two things. One, he's bisexual. And two, he is entering the NFL draft. Saying he wants to go two ways. He wants to go both ways. So I don't know why he had to talk about being bisexual. I think that's kind of weird. But he says it's never been done. They've never had a bisexual playing.
No.
What?
No.
He plays offense and defense.
He's a.
So that's what he meant when he says he goes both ways.
Yes, he's a wide receiver and a corner.
Mm-hmm.
That's really brave of a bisexual to go.
No, Jeffrey, no.
So just the.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, just the player and the position.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't want to get into the minutia of what kind of positions he likes.
It's
none of my business.
No, Jeffrey, no. Trust me on this one. It has nothing to do with his sexuality.
So as far as sexuality, I mean, if they let Odell Beckham Jr. and Aaron Rodgers, they're going to let anybody do whatever they want. So let's talk about the NFL part of this. Will the NFL allow, when I say the NFL, I don't mean like the NFL. I mean a team or a coach or an organization say, yeah, we're going to bring you in and you do get to play both ways.
Yeah, that's probably not going to happen.
No, it's never been done, he says. And, there's a reason for that, Hunter. There's a reason. Because
I want to submit this for a second, though. Just think about this. Prime, when he was playing, on the Cowboys, he was used quite frequently as an offensive player.
But see, not consistently and not all the time. There were gadgets, there were tricks, there were things they did, but they didn't say, he didn't stay out on the field all the time.
Yeah, Dion run, play wide receiver like 80% of our snaps on offense and then be a corner on like 75% of our snaps on defense. That just does not happen.
Right. Identifying a guy that your regular quarterbacks are having a problem with, but you send him out there to try to shut him down. I mean,
I think the NFL would consider, not the NFL, but whatever team he lands on would consider using this guy. Use his strengths the majority of the time. I think I like Prime. Use him on the offense the rest of the time.
You can use him in special situations on one side of the ball or the other, but the side of the field that he is a specialist in, the one that he's going to have to do most of the work in, you have to pick a side, because Travis Hunter at the college level already misses like 2 or 3 games a year because he takes a beating as a wide receiver and then he's got to hit people as a corner. And play that. You're saying he's going to go to the NFL level and that's going to get easier to do without getting injured?
I never said that.
Yeah,
No,
I'm not
he's
saying
talking
that,
to him. Talking to Travis Hunter.
I'm not saying that that he would never be used on both sides of the
So
ball.
what's he drafted as? Offense or defense?
Well, see, that's the thing.
Is it
what does
offense?
what does the team need?
I
Well,
just think that
what is
the
he
NFL
best
is
at?
so geared towards offense. I would take advantage of that talent offensively. Like
So if you have a crap team, like Ralph, and on draft day, you're on the phone with Travis Hunter because you're going to be able to draft him because you have a crap team, and you're like, hey, Travis, my advice is lie to him. You lie to him, and you don't tell him until he gets there. He's like, hey, do we get to go do some defense too? Oh, in a minute, but first, just.
Well, I would think he has to come out of the closet in a sense and say what he's going to be.
Well, he already said he goes both ways.
Well, he's going to have to get out of that and figure out what he's going to represent himself as, I would think, for NFL teams to take him seriously.
Let me
at that
read you
position.
what he says. He says, I understand it'll be high risk. Teams don't want their top pick to go down too early, but I know they're going to want me to be in a couple of packages, but I believe I can do it. Nobody's stopped me from doing it thus far, and I like it when people tell me I can't do it.
Well,
You sound like Ben Roethlisberger.
Okay, that fair. But I think that okay, sure.
Or did he?
Oh, that's
different animal.
That's great escalation there. It
got worse and worse, didn't it?
Yes, another level. But I do think that if he's what he's saying is true, and they're like he wants to play one side of the ball, and they use him in a couple of packages on the other side of the ball, that's fine.
That'll be enough to keep him happy.
Yeah, but if we're talking about what he's doing at Colorado right now, which is full-time corner and full-time wide receiver, there's no way. There's no way.
It's not happening. Not happening.
He'll have a 2-year career.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about how the
break him in
game gets way faster when you step onto an NFL field, and it takes people a while to let the game slow down to where they're like, okay, I think I'm fine now. So yeah, you're not going to be able to do this what he wants to do. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. He said he thinks he can do it.
Does it hurt his stock?
I don't think it hurts his stock. No, it just as
Heisman's going to help.
It's good, yeah. But as long as you can figure out what he'd like to lean towards, like if he's going to lean towards defense, well, fine. Well, then a different set of teams might value him higher than another.
Right, exactly.
But I don't think it's going to hurt his stock. No,
if he comes in saying
good at both.
But if he comes in saying I want to play both, I mean, I think he hurts himself. People are going to say, "Well, that's not going to happen, dude."
Sure, but I also just think that they're
hopefully he's not that stupid.
What leverage does he have if he shows up and the team drafts him and says, "Hey, dude, you're a wide receiver"? What's he going to do? Not play?
I've made a horrible mistake.
Uh-oh.
I had this bottle of water in my back pocket, but when I'm in the studio here at the radio station, I don't hardly ever sit down, so I forgot it. Now I have to drink ass-warmed water.
Oh, no.
It was cold when I started out.
I don't know how I could have held that in my back pocket at that temperature.
It's a horrible mistake.
Yeah.
Ass-warmed water is the worst. Walter Mellon says, hey guys, I just want to message in there and say farewell to Ralph. That is all.
What does that mean?
From what?
No.
That sounds ominous. What?
Where's
farewell from what?
I think he's going to get fired for the stuff he was saying to you earlier.
Oh,
I'm not hired, so good luck.
We tried to fire him. They keep telling us we can't do that. Burger Wolf says, no, I'm not reading texts that you sent to him at other times. Not doing that. It's not the way this works. Magnificent Mr. Mormon says, I don't get it. What a Hunter, Kobe, Ben Roethlisberger, P. Diddy have in common? Ask your bishop. Let's see. Wilbur says,
wow.
Can we ask Moist One if he likes go? No, we're not. We know that already. Big Jake says he's going to lean towards the position that props him higher on the draft board.
That would have to be wide receiver.
Right.
I mean, like that's just the position that most teams value a little bit more than corner.
Feels like he's saying, I'm going to go, I'm both, but I'm a wide receiver, but you got to put me in some defensive plays.
He's so good with contested catches. I think it would be insane for him to not go that way as the primary path that he would be on.
Big George says there have been many players in NFL history that play two ways, notably Chuck Bednarik of the Philadelphia Eagles, 1949 to 1962. Okay, great. You Googled.
Yeah.
That's all you did, George, was Google. Don't act like you're like, oh yeah, old Chuck Bednarik.
No,
That's
no,
when there
no.
was 12 guys in the team.
Because there's a Chuck Bednarik award. Like, you didn't have to search that hard for it. But Chuck Bednarik, like you said, he played from 49 to 62. This is a kind of a different league now than it was back in 1962, Big George.
You think he's going to win the Heisman? Not George. Travis Hunter. Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, maybe. It's pretty close right now. And there are quarterbacks that are putting up monster numbers. And I think that the Heisman committee has always leaned towards the quarterbacks.
Shedeur Sanders, is he going to the draft this year? Because Colorado just picked up top prospect Julian Lewis, one of the top high school prospects in America. And he's got that commitment. Guess where he decommitted from?
SC.
USC.
Well, because SC went another way and they got another 5-star from someone else.
Oh,
There was a bunch of movement. I know you're not used to 5 stars because you're talking ASU and U of A usually, but 5 stars are the good programs.
We never talk U of A.
We decommitted a 5-star to bring in a 5-star.
We don't ever talk USC either, really.
Can we talk Lakers? I really want to talk Lakers.
Sorry, we don't have time.
Oh my gosh.
Come back in another day. We can
avoid
the conversation
I
then
wanted
too.
to talk Dalton Connect, but okay, whatever.
Connect.
That's a shame. We already talked about him.
It's not like somebody clearing their throat.
I wasn't here.
Oh well. Hamilton Porter says, "Give the Heisman to Barry Sanders Jr. on Boise State." I don't think he's even up for it. If you just want to give it to him, that's fine.
Are you just talking about Ashton Genty? Because he sure does. It does feel like you're watching.
Do you think Deion's pissed because his son's not getting the Heisman and his other guy might get it?
I don't think so.
No.
I think if Shedeur winds up being, a quarterback that falls in the draft, I think that would take him off more.
Though, right now, I got a betting site that says the odds for Shedeur Sanders is plus 200. For Travis Hunter, it's plus 300.
Yeah,
but right now they still have Cameron Ward up top there.
Yeah,
probably who's going to win it too.
Yeah, look, Cam Ward is insanely good.
Yeah.
Navy Devil says Travis Hunter is going to play the position that pays the most in the NFL. Wilbur says, Ralph, can I remind you, USC sucks.
I wouldn't say that, but okay.
Hamilton Porter says, hey, Ralph, tell us about the USC's domination of the Big Ten. I remember when you promised that. Yeah.
I did not promise that. I said it would be a tough move. I said it was going to be a tough move.
Hurry Harry says, hey, Ralph's on. Let's talk about them Seahawks.
Yeah, we should. We will.
They stink.
We will.
No, they don't.
They stink.
We'll talk about that and see what happens this weekend.
I just got to make sure my team doesn't have any more losses than you do.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yep, they stink.
I mean, your quarterback finally played a game last week.
I know. It was like he remembered what they originally wanted him to do, but then again, no, it was just the Jets. So yeah.
So we still have to get a real test for him. And
no, we don't. Just
it's already happening.
I just want the season to be over.
It's happening this week.
So, by the way, the NFL is warning all the teams because of what happened to Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. But they said, hey, there's a transnational crime ring going around and they're breaking into NFL player houses when they're out of town. And I'm like, can we not call them transnational? Because I feel like some redneck's going to be, Daddy's got this woman, and it's a man breaking into houses all over the place. God damn it, I knew them trans people were up to no good.
I sure
don't think that's
be
going to
a
happen.
gross misunderstanding of, and also burying the lead. I feel like the robberies take precedence over. Okay, that's fine. Whatever.
Transnational crime ring. It's against God more than anything. Oh my! How are you getting in and out of them windows wearing them dresses? I can't understand. This is like maybe you just maybe just not say transnational, just say international.
What's wrong with transnational?
It's because there's a lot of really dumb people.
If you have to adjust everything you say for dumb people, you can never talk.
We kind of have to a little bit for dumb people.
This will be the quietest 3-hour show you'll ever see.
You notice how
I don't think so.
I use an economy of letters and words while on this show. So, and a lot of times even smaller words when you come on. So
I mean, I'm just saying, I do an hour and a half, 2-hour show with this guy that, just saying.
You have to shorten up
I have to change my words every week.
All right. Well, listen.
You got to use all lowercase letters, don't you?
So you understand.
Yes.
Don't tell me what to do. It's the Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em Picks. Coming up next is the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
Customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. After that, you can also save me, as I'm currently hanging from the edge of a cliff. To recap, number 1, customize and save. Number 2, time allowing, save me. Shoulders separating.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com. Savings may vary, underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates, excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part, they accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide, based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
It's fall football season, and Kasai Japanese Steakhouse is doubling down. Now with 2 Valley locations. When it comes to Asian cuisine, no one does it better and more authentic than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse isn't just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where a delicious 7-course meal is paired right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Happy hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on their Asian-inspired comfort food like Korean steak tacos, Mongolian barbecue ribs, and signature Wagyu beef sliders. Always a memorable dinner, or catch the game and a bite at the bar at Kasai. Now the 2 locations, Scottsdale Road in Thunderbird and in Peoria at the 101 in Northern. Go to KasaiTeppan.com. That's KASAI Teppan.com, or search Kasai on your mobile phone.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
Quiet, people, settle down.
Because it's time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room. Ralph from Harmon Solar is with us. You guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Devil Hawk says, hey, can you stop airing those annoying Jennifer Coolidge Discover Card commercials? Her voice is really annoying, and I think I lose a couple brain cells every time I hear her talk. We will stop airing those immediately once your check for $30,000 gets here to the radio station.
And clears.
And clears. You're right. That's a good point, Randy.
Good point.
Trust
Thank you.
nobody. Trust
Thank you.
nobody.
Yeah, right. Right.
All right. So it's week 12, and it's a bye-mageddon. Anybody suffering bye-week blues from the fact that Atlanta is out, Buffalo, Cincinnati, Jacksonville, the Jets, and the New Orleans Saints?
Most of my starting lineup is out.
Yeah. I had some guys who are out, but I have most of my good players back. And then the guy I'm playing, he had a bye-mageddon. And I know this because I just saw, like, he just picked up 3 different guys on the waiver wire. So, watch, he'll still beat me. I don't know. My team is so bad this year. But Seabass says, that was my Yeah, just between me and Steve Best. That was my inspiration. Baker's Cocky Hen says, Stifler's mom sounds hot to me. Okay. He says, keep the commercials. Well, I'll tell you what, Baker's Cocky Hens will keep the commercials, and I promise they'll play as soon as you send $30,000 to the radio station, and the check clears.
Yeah.
Outside of that, don't tell us what to put on our air. I did the little flinch thing. I don't think anybody saw it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless they were watching.
Yeah, I kind of did a little. Yeah. All right. So shall we just jump right in? Let's get the picks going. I mean, hell, we could pick every single game this week since there's so many teams in a bye week.
I mean, I think we should probably just get moving.
All right, let's do it. So Thursday night football tonight. Apologize. Browns versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. So probably not going to be a lot of yards in the air here because they've got a weather situation going on in Cleveland. So, all right. So the Browns 2-8, Pittsburgh 8-2. And I think, is this one we can all just unanimously say, or does somebody think the Browns have a chance here?
I do.
All right, you go ahead, Randy.
I'll tell you why.
How is this going to go down?
I think the Browns have a chance here. Number one, it's a weather situation, and as we all know, Pittsburgh is not inclined to be playing football in weather. They
have an outdoor
what?
No, Pittsburgh's an outdoor stadium, isn't it?
Yes.
I thought it was a domed.
Used to be Heinz Field. Now they call it something stupid.
Acrisure,
whatever,
something like that. Yeah. Acupuncture.
I thought it was
something.
It's outside.
Thought it was a dome.
Nope, it's outside. So what do you got now, Randy?
Well, there's this. Pittsburgh is 0-6 on Thursday night division games.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just saying, Winston is just crazy enough to beat the damn Pittsburgh Steelers on a Thursday night in Cleveland.
All right. So what we've learned here is Randy's high, and the rest of us are taking the Steelers to win, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm taking the Steelers. I do think the Browns could probably make this kind of interesting if the Steelers can't throw the ball because of the weather, but that's about as good as we're going to get.
0-6 on Thursday night divisional games.
I
they're
understand.
a different team right now.
I understand, but I've seen the Browns play football, and I cannot.
That means 0 wins, 6 losses against division teams.
Doesn't matter.
Thursday night football.
Doesn't matter. Every year is its own story. So that's a stat line you end up accumulating. But right now, Pittsburgh is going to overwhelm the Browns. I mean, here's what I see. I mean, Mike Tomlin up for and betting favorite to win Coach of the Year right now.
I think he should.
Well, I feel like you could start the game with Russ Wilson and finish the game with Justin Fields. You know, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Because here's why. Because it's a rainy game. Things happen. So, if Russ Wilson's the guy you're rolling with, take him off the field once you've, solidified the win and let the kid get some.
I was going to say the Steelers are next level since Russell Wilson's taken over. I mean, they're a contender. So, and Russ is 9-4.
Same record.
Thursdays.
They had the same record with Justin Fields.
They're next level. They're not barely winning. They're actually beating good teams. He's dominant. I love the Steelers.
Get the kid some reps, is what I'm saying.
Well, it depends on if it's a blowout, but I don't think that's going to be the case. The Browns have lost a lot of football games, but they haven't been blown out.
No.
They are 2-8.
But they haven't been blown out.
Tonight they will be.
Okay.
They have a great defense.
I don't think so. I really don't. The defense is
Only
talented.
thing is they would have been, but the weather. I think the weather is the equalizer on.
Well,
this.
it takes a deep ball away, and that's Russ's specialty.
Yeah. All right, so we say the Steelers will beat the Browns, except for Randy, because he's got a dream and he believes.
Well, no, I just other than the dome stadium thing, I mean,
yeah,
maybe that was a slight oversight on my part.
If the players are allowed to play with umbrellas, then yes,
it technically is a dome.
You know what they could? They could go Brock umbrella hats. Remember those back in the 70s? They could have fixed those to their helmets and have umbrellas.
I feel like somebody's eye is getting poked out on the line.
Brilliant idea, Jeffco. Brilliant.
Coom says Pittsburgh is going to fumble the bag and lose the Browns. Browns defense is going to outscore the offense, he says.
Yeah, I don't see that.
Megatron says Jameis has never played a game under 40 degrees, and he has small hands. I think you're thinking about Pickett. Is Jameis Wilson?
Jameis has sticky hands though, because
Yeah,
he was able to
the
hijack
ribs.
those
Commandeer
was the
some
lobster
crab
tails
and eating the
with
W's.
crab legs. Yeah, there it was. Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to the next game on 1580, the Fanatic. Minnesota Vikings are visiting the Chicago Bears, and that will be on at 10:30 a.m. on Sunday after the Weekend Warriors Sunday morning football extravaganza. What the hell do you call it again?
It's just football Sunday. It's not an extravaganza. It's not a
Fiasco.
It's not a carnival.
Okay.
Can it be a carnival, please?
It should be.
Ralph?
I think
With Neil and Phil, it should be. Yeah.
should add
How
some,
much fun would that be?
some lights and a ride and maybe some of those funnel cakes. Ooh,
Oh, yes.
Sorry.
Funnel cakes.
Back to the game. The Bears at home against the Minnesota Vikings. Not a great matchup. Another one. Just not great. I don't know. All right. Tell me why this is going to be a better game than expected, Keon.
Well, if the Bears offense
Lie to me, Keon.
Yeah, I'm trying to right
trying.
here. If the Bears offense can reach the high points it's been able to reach this season against this Vikings defense, which when it's on, but when it's off, they look disorganized and confused and they give up a lot of yards, especially in the second halves of games, then yeah, I think the Bears can make this interesting. I'm not taking them though. I think that the Vikings are a better football team. And while I like the Bears defense and I like the Bears receivers, and I even think Caleb is starting to play a little bit better, they're just not good this year. The offensive line still stinks. They still can't run the football. I still don't like the play calling. There's just a lot to not like about the Bears, and I can't pick them.
How about you, Ralph? Can you pick the Bears?
No. Could I see them winning this game? Yeah, because the Vikings have this tendency to play bad, like Keon said sometimes, but they're on a 3-game winning streak. The Bears are just trying to figure it out. They are getting better, but they're not close to being where they need to be. They're just not. I don't. It's chaos in Chicago right now. I don't see them winning this game. I think Minnesota wins it and goes 9-2.
What do you think, Randy? Do you give the Bears a chance?
Skull Vikings.
All right. Yeah, I've picked the Vikings too. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Sam Darnold is a hit and a miss, but it's the Bears. So yeah, it's unanimous. Minnesota Vikings to beat the Bears on Sunday morning. Sunday night football, we've got the Philadelphia Eagles and the Los Angeles Rams. Jalen Hurts has been a little bit dinged up. I don't know what his current situation is. Did he have a full practice today? Or will he have a full practice tomorrow? That's something that you really need to keep an eye on. But it is the Rams. So, all right, the Rams are kind of sort of okay, kind of good sometimes, kind of not good other times. The Eagles are solid, but I don't know. I can't take the Rams on this one for sure. I mean, but who's Jalen Hurts' backup? Because if Jalen Hurts is Hurts, then that kind of changes things, doesn't it?
It does. Jalen Hurts' backup would be small hands Kenny Pickett.
Okay. So I need to know what Jalen Hurts' current situation is. If he's playing Eagles by a long shot, but if he's not, I think I might have to go with the Rams. So need the info. Does anybody know Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, he did practice today, but it was limited practice. So
I need to see him have a full practice between now and Sunday. I mean, I'm going to be I'm going to pick the Eagles right now, but I'm going to switch that thing if he doesn't play. So what do you say, Ralph? That's your second, third, fourth, fifth team, the Rams?
Yeah, I agree with you. If Hurts plays, which he probably will, I see them winning this game. The Rams are healthier. They are playing better. But, the Eagles have won 7 of the last 8 meetings against these teams. So they seem to have their number in history. And the Eagles right now are on a roll at 6-game winning streak. They're on top of the NFC East. I got to take the Eagles right now. You got to play the hot hand.
So, Randy, since you hate the Rams, taking the Eagles, right?
I am picking the Eagles, but it would not surprise me to see Los Angeles win this game. I think it's a home game for LA. I feel like they're getting healthy. They're getting some offensive line help, and they have a pretty good running game. And now that they've got some of those, Cooper Kupp and Puka Shells back catching balls for Matthew Stafford, that gives him some options. And I feel like the Rams are dangerous. And so I'm going to pick the Eagles just because they have Saquon Barkley and because I like Jalen Hurts, and they are on a winning streak. But it would not surprise me to see the Rams win this game.
What do you say, Keon?
I agree with Randy. I'm going to pick the Eagles too. I just think it's just too hard not to, the way that they've been playing lately. But I don't want to count out the Rams. I mean, you said sometimes good, sometimes not so good, but that hasn't been true. They lost the first four out of their first 5 games to start the year. They've won 4 out of the last 5. The second half of the season thus far for the Rams, they have looked like an actually good football team. So I think that's going to be a closer game than a lot of people think.
Moist One says Sweaty Pants should start the Browns defense. I don't know how that's even possible, Moist One. Why? I mean, he can't. He just simply can't. Donnie says prop bet the Vikings defense anytime touchdown, boys. It's a lock. No.
I don't know how to feel about that now.
Yeah. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
But yeah.
But I don't think it's a lock.
I mean, anytime touchdown versus this Bears offense? Maybe. Once you said it's a lock, I got a little nervous. But
like Donnie knows anything?
Have you seen the Bears?
I've seen the Bears, but Donnie is dumb as hell.
There's just a lot of defenses have scored a lot of touchdowns on this Bears offense. I'm just,
All right, so we are unanimous. The Philadelphia Eagles will beat the Rams at SoFi Stadium on Sunday Night Football.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Probably watch something else. I don't know.
I think that's going to be a good game.
Really?
Yeah. Like I said, the Rams have won 4 out of their last 5. It's not the same team that started the year.
So, by the way, about the Browns defense and Sweaty Pants. Sweaty Pants is my opponent, and then Moist One was telling him that. But here's the thing. I had seen the King of Fantasy Football post about the Browns defense is a good play tonight. And I was like, I thought about doing it, and I was like, maybe I won't. And then when Moist One texted that in, I just immediately went click. I took the Browns defense.
Wow.
Wow.
Anyways, Monday Night Football. There's your game of the week. Monday Night Football. I think that's the game of the week right there. Baltimore Ravens taking on at SoFi Stadium. Whoa, SoFi's got 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
Yep.
Huh.
Stadium crew is going to be busy.
Have they ever done that before?
Oh, yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, whatever. The Jim, the Jerkface Harbaugh Chargers with the proactive spokesperson, Justin Herbert, at home.
You mean the AFC Player of the Week?
Pimple popping Justin Herbert?
Yes.
Human squirt gun? Justin Herbert?
Wow. It's just unnecessary.
I know. He's all that money. It's unnecessary for him to have all that acne. What? Anyway, so they're at home against the Baltimore Ravens.
Yes. It's brother on brother crime at SoFi.
What do you mean?
Harbaugh versus Harbaugh.
Oh, I was going to say, I didn't think Lamar Jackson and Justin Herbert were at all related.
No.
Oh, you mean Jim the Jerkface Harbaugh versus
replay of a Super Bowl.
The ghost of John Harbaugh. Right?
No.
What?
What do you mean the ghost? Jim's the one that had the heart attack on the sidelines, not John.
I don't know. John Harbaugh hasn't been into a Super Bowl for how long?
He beat Jim in the last one he was in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a long ass time ago. And so far, he just hasn't been able to get over the hump. And again, he's a good coach, but except fors. He's got the Shanahan except fors.
A little bit, but
I don't know. John's got 2 Super Bowl rings, and all the dark helmet has is wasted dreams.
That's true. When John did get there, he did win it. It's just hard to win Super Bowls. Like, it's just, you can have a good team and not win a Super Bowl. He gets to the playoffs all the time. He gets them the lottery ticket. They got to punch it in.
Empty goals.
It probably took him like forever to get with his wife. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's actually somehow
got a lot of
not as difficult. But
was she loose? Oh, okay.
Wow.
No,
What?
winning Super Bowls is really difficult.
I didn't know what you're talking about. I'm like, yeah, you're
I'll talk to them.
the things you're saying
I
right
have
now.
no
Keon.
idea why you
Jeez.
went there. That's just
I know. I don't
disgusting
know
of
why you went
It's
there
just
either.
disgusting of you. Why would you?
Holy mackerel.
Why is your mind there? I was talking
you
about.
brought us there, Keon.
I was talking about competitive.
My God,
how hard it is to win a Super Bowl. How did you get there?
Listen, getting with women is not a competitive thing, Keon. Shame on you.
It's a good thing Super Bowls are, though. I mean,
Shame on you.
I can't believe
It's just
you-
hard. That's all. It's
your
hard.
mind went there.
Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize on the behalf of Keon Rose.
You should apologize on behalf of yourself. I mean,
No, I'm good.
I feel so embarrassed for you.
Lost Toby says, well, I just got a lot less productive working from home. What is that? Is that a quarterback target thing? What is that? What are those golf balls? What are you doing? Huh. Yeah, well, it's nice to be outside right now, isn't it? We should all be outside.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Hamilton Porter wants to remind you that the Cowboys are the only team in the 4 major leagues not to have a home win in 2024. And they showed a picture of Mike McCarthy licking his lips, thinking about his third lunch.
He's not eating any W's lately. Got to find something.
Big George says, Randy, I'm hurt. You picked the lowly Browns over the superb Steelers, but you won't take my Bears to beat the overrated Skull Vikings? I thought we were friends.
We're in a skirmish, George. I'm not speaking to you currently.
Wow.
You just spoke to him. You should have told me to tell him that.
Jeffrey, would you tell George that we're not speaking?
I'm nobody's middleman. So did we do our picks on this?
No,
Baltimore?
you just kept talking about the.
I don't even know what we're
coaches
talking
and
about.
Went into some down hole with some really bad stuff. I'm sitting there going, are we
Jeez.
ever going to talk about this
Now
game?
there's a bad hole involved.
There
All
was a
right.
bad hole from the start.
Okay.
Excuse me?
Things being hard and to do.
Well,
and
you
all
were the
this-
one who introduced the hardness. Of it.
No.
Excuse me?
So are we going to pick this game or are we moving on?
I got the Ravens over the Chargers.
I've got the Chargers. I like the way that they're playing lately, and the Ravens against some of these tough defenses with their own defense not being able to stop anybody. Yeah, I'll take the Bolts.
Randy?
Mr. Jackson, a bad mother. Shut your mouth. Such talking about Mr. Jackson. Give me the Ravens in a close one.
Okay. Ralph?
What the heck was that?
Did we have Ralph do his already? Ralph?
No, I kind of like the Chargers. I kind of think I'm going to go with the Chargers. I like the way their defense is playing. And,
Promise?
I'm with Keon. I don't think that the Ravens defense is really that good right now. So,
Well, I feel like it's more about what the Ravens offense is going to do. The Chargers. I know the Chargers are supposed to have this good defense, but where was that last week?
on the field.
Could have fooled me.
They were
In the
playing.
first half?
They were playing the Bengals. I don't know if you've noticed. The Bengals kind of do that to everybody.
Yeah.
Big George says, Randy, I apologize for losing your Seattle Kraken case and losing your case against the North Pole, Alaska. Is that why you're upset? You can't fight City Hall, Randy. I think there's more to it than just that, George. You need to look deeper within. Hefty Lefty says, pretty sure Bo Nix was AFC Offensive Player of the Week last week. I know this because it's given me a glimmer of hope again, and I don't like it.
That's what I said, damn it. Bo Nix, AFC
like it.
Player of the Week.
Did we even, we're not even slotted to talk about a Denver game this week. Why are we talking about this?
Because Bo Nix was the AFC Player of the Week.
Hooray.
Like Randy said.
Baker's Cocky Hen says Dobbins and the Gus bus gonna get revenge on the Ravens.
That's true. They replaced both of those guys with one Derrick Henry. It's working out very well for the Chargers. It's also working out well for the Ravens, though.
The Ravens will run the ball down your throat. If you can stop that run, now you got to try to stop the quarterback from doing the same thing in another direction or even throwing. I feel like the Ravens will overwhelm the Chargers. That's what I think.
I don't see that happening, especially since the Chargers offense has been opening up. They've established the run in a number of games. They rush for a lot of yards, especially that J.K. Dobbins. And the thing with the Chargers as well is that opens up the play action for them. They've been throwing the football a whole lot better too.
Hey, Ralph, did you know that you're ahead of Keon in the picks now?
Yeah, I kind of blew him away.
Just Sorry, what was that? What was that, Keon?
I think the Chargers are going to win the football game. I don't understand.
messed up.
I like how you said that like that was going to do what? Make me stop talking? Like, wait.
Well, it worked for a second.
No, it didn't. I was letting Ralph talk.
Yeah, he was being polite.
You might have heard of it.
I don't think he has.
I feel like it's overrated.
I've noticed.
What's this? Hamlin Porter says, breaking news, Bryce Underwood has flipped his commitment from LSU to Michigan.
So,
okay.
Neat.
Okay. All right, listen, we've done some picks. We got more picks to do, so let's take a break and come back and do it. We'll do it. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Sports bettors, we've all been there. You have a live bet lined up, you check the odds one more time, place the bet only to see the bet delayed by the spinny wheel, line move, and your bet rejected. My name's Alex Kane, and I'm the founder and CEO of Sportrade, Arizona's newest sports betting app. At the core of the Sportrade offering is our probability-based odds. In other words, the Cardinals may be offered at 55% odds to win, a lot simpler than minus 125. Place your bet at 55% odds, and as your win probability changes, so does the value of your bet, giving you the ability to cash out with total control. And the best part, no spinny wheels. Live bets on Sportrade are instantly accepted. Download Sportrade on your iPhone today and use code 1580 to earn 10% cash back on every bet in your first week. Terms apply.
Sportrade is regulated by the Arizona Department of Gaming. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
We put you so close to the game, you can almost smell the sweat.
Ooh, awkward.
GCU basketball is live on the Fanatic.
Friday night, GCU men's basketball welcome in Norfolk State. Tip time 7 p.m. from the Global Credit Union Arena at GCU.
Michael Potter and Paul Coro have the call live for GCU basketball on 1580 The Fanatic and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Stay Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Coming up at 5 o'clock, we got Scott, the Fantasy Football King Engel, going to join us, give you some fantasy football advice. Have your questions ready for that. Hamlin Porter says, hey, listen, lock him up, all right? Bryce Underwood, highest rated high schooler in the nation, going to be better than Caleb.
Wow.
I don't know why he flipped from LSU to Michigan. Michigan's on its way down. LSU, why wouldn't you go to LSU?
Would you want to live in Louisiana?
Well, I visited Louisiana. There's a lot of great things about the old Red Stick, the city of Red Stick.
Also, Louisiana. Look, I don't know how much you might like the place, but LSU, Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels.
Oh, yeah.
You play there.
Yeah.
You give yourself a really good chance to get drafted. I think Garrett Nussmeier might find himself in that position as well.
Michigan too. I mean, come on.
As at quarterback,
they've had a few
lately. I just named guys that are playing football right now. Okay, well,
they got JJ McCarthy, but we don't know what he is yet.
Right. Exactly, and the guy that was coaching him is also in the NFL.
He's limping.
I mean, Tom Brady.
Tia says, rather have pimple popping Justin Herbert than freaking quitter Tony Richardson. You know, I like the pimple popper. I do. I've always liked Justin Herbert. That sometimes you're like, well, the lights on. Because is somebody home there?
Why would you say that?
I mean, he likes his weed.
He's very quiet.
Yeah, but he's not. He is a very smart guy. He just doesn't like talking that much.
Yeah, it was kind of like
Remember
how stunned everyone was when Andrew Luck. They were like, he reads books. I'm like, he eats books? No, he reads books. Are you sure?
Why would you assume that?
He just looks like a guy who eats books, not reads books.
I mean, he went to Stanford. I mean,
yeah,
I would say he read a lot there.
Yeah,
listen, that neck beard goes a long way to making it hard to believe that somebody is literate.
And they still let him into Stanford.
I was going to say, come on.
Well,
they weren't guessing.
You're throwing a football.
No, Stanford doesn't care.
Yeah.
That's why they don't win.
Right.
All I know is Anthony Richardson. I don't think that he was magically fixed just because of 2 weeks on the bench. You just got him on a good day against a bad team, and I'm in for more misery. I don't even. I mean,
he was a bad team. Jets are terrible.
Yeah. Yep.
They're just bad.
Absolutely. And now we have another bad team this week. So, I mean, we're just going to be padding our stats.
Who are you playing this week?
Oh, the Lions.
Oh, geez. You might not want to turn that on.
I didn't mean it.
Don't watch it.
It's going to be so bad. Yeah, I've got other things to watch.
It's going to be like last week's Lions game.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've got Jared Goff, and I don't know.
I don't know if it's going to be like last week's Lions game. The Jaguars are infinitely worse than the Colts.
Well, I guess we might as well talk about it. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Colts are at home, and Detroit Lions. I don't know. You go first, Ralph. Go ahead.
I mean, you've already said it. Your team sucks.
Yep.
Your quarterback's terrible.
He's not terrible.
He's terrible.
Just not congealed.
Okay, he's not congealed.
He's bad.
I don't like him. I think he needs to move on. That was a bad pick, bad draft pick. Thank God you took him and not the Seahawks. That would have made me upset. I just think the Lions, again, I say it every week, best team in the NFC, favored to go to the Super Bowl, probably win the Super Bowl. That team has got everything going for it. Offense, defense, special teams. They can run, they can pass, they can hit. This is going to be ugly. I don't know. I agree with Keon. This won't be as bad as a Jaguar game. That Jaguars team is just bad. But it's going to be 14 to 21 point bad, in my opinion.
Well, the Colts will defensively do what they can for half a game. And then
they'll be on the field too much.
And then they're going to be exhausted.
Yeah. Exactly.
They're just going to be and then after that, it's just touchdown after touchdown. I'm picking the Lions. Ralph's picking the Lions. Randy, I know you like to pick my Colts. Maybe this is not the week for that.
I think you're right. I'm sorry. I really wanted to pick the Blue Horseshoe. I really did. But I got to go where the strength is this week, and I got to go Detroit. This is just a machine. Detroit is just a damn machine. And I think they're going to win. I don't know that's going to be 21 points. I think Indy can hang in there. Unless Richardson calls a timeout and substitutes himself again.
Wouldn't be surprised.
I am 62, and I've never seen that ever in an NFL game. A quarterback substituting himself.
Nope.
So
much for the old killer instinct.
I got Detroit to win this game.
There's no reason to watch this game, is there, Keon?
No.
See, for him to say that it's bad, and hear me just say it before he says
the way he said it.
I think Detroit is going to put a bigger smackdown on the Colts this week than they even did on the Jaguars last week.
I don't know how that's possible.
They will.
Mac Jones is playing quarterback in Jacksonville. I simply do not. I don't believe that that's even possible.
Because they're going to rattle Anthony Richardson, and he is easily rattled. When he rattles, he makes dumb decisions and mistakes. In fact, you might see him injured and out of this game early.
I mean,
on purpose. Maybe.
Sure. And I think that Joe Flacco is also an upgrade over Mac Jones. I just don't. The Jaguars suck in a way that I don't think that people quite realize. They have quit. I don't think the Colts have quit. The Colts are actually, in a division that's not very good, so they're still competitive, and they are one spot out of that 7th seed in the AFC. I'm saying that if Shane Steichen's in the locker room telling these guys, play hard. I'm not saying they're going to win the game. I'm not saying that the game's even going to be competitive. But I don't think they're going to lose like Jacksonville lost, because that's really hard to do. However, the Lions do have a fantastic defense, and Ralph said they're the best team in the NFC. They have the best offense in the entire NFL, and I don't even know if it's close.
Yeah. The Lions are petty, and I appreciate that about them. And I feel like they're going to be like, you know what? We got to 52 points last week. We're going to get to 60 this week. That's what's happening. We're going to get to 60.
Well, if you had their
starters
history
on the field.
I mean, why not? You've had their history. You'd be doing the same thing.
That's fine. No, listen, I have nothing against them.
Do unto others.
Nothing against them, but like I said, sometimes my defense makes me happy. Sometimes it makes me sad. But they're always game for a bit, and then they're nothing. They're wet toilet paper. So unanimously, we have all taken the Detroit Lions to beat my hapless Colts. All right, let's move on to the next game. Keon Rose, his Washington Commandos at home against the Dallas Cowboys. This is probably going to be this is the Super Bowl for Keon right here. This is the Super Bowl. This is what he is looking forward to. A team that is hobbled, beaten, and really it's self-inflicted wounds all day long, which makes it even better. But now with a team that has been rejuvenated, new coach, the offense is clicking. The defense is doing pretty good. I mean, they're looking at the Dallas Cowboys and wiping the slobber off their chin because this is going to be a beatdown. I'm going to take the Washington Commandos big over the Dallas Cowboys. And I know that Jerry says he's not going to fire McCarthy mid-season. Oh, he's going to want to. He's going to want to after this weekend. Randy?
I mean, come on. Washington's going to beat Dallas so bad. Dallas may change its name to something else. They might change their name just to enter the witness protection program so nobody can find them anymore. I mean, Washington big.
Ralph?
They're favored by 10 points. That's
all?
For NFL betting? If the line opens at double digits and it opened at 10.
I got them at 10 and a half.
Oh, it's going the other way. Yeah, no.
This is ugly.
They're expecting a blowout.
I think a lot. You listen to the Cowboys talk. A lot of them have given up. You can tell they've given up on this season. They know they're not going anywhere. Jerry Jones has given up, which is why he's not even going to fire him. He's like, whatever, let him sit there. I'm going to hire Deion Sanders next year anyway. So I'm just going to go ahead and ride this out. I really hope he does that, by the way. This is the Jaguar game from last week. So, yeah, I'm taking the Commanders.
Well, to give you an idea, the Lions are favored by 7.5 over the Colts, and Dallas favored by 10.5 over Washington favored by 10.5 over the Cowboys. And just to give you more perspective, the only worse spread right now is the Carolina Panthers and the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are favored by 11.5. So that gives you an idea of what Washington is up against. Nothing. They're up against nothing. Sorry.
Good stats game.
It's a good stats game.
Did everybody get to talk about the
Keon hasn't talked.
No, oh, that's right. Keon, who do you think's going to win?
Like the Commanders are coming off of a 2-game losing streak, and the get right game gets to be Dallas.
That's awesome.
I don't think I've ever been happier in my entire life. And this is going to be perhaps, maybe my favorite.
That's what I thought.
My favorite edition of this rivalry since RG3 roasted them in Thanksgiving, 2012. Like it's that, or 2010. It's been that long. I'm going to enjoy this. It's going to get ugly, and I will watch every second until the clock hits
Keon.
triple zeros.
Between 10:30 a.m. and say 2 p.m., don't call Keon. Because, why isn't this on Thanksgiving? I was really surprised. This game used to be on Thanksgiving all the time.
Yeah, but they've been rotating it ever since then. So sometimes it's on Thanksgiving, sometimes it isn't.
Yeah, and Detroit too. Detroit, you can always count on that.
I mean, Detroit is still on Thanksgiving, and Dallas is still on Thanksgiving. This is just not the Washington game.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and not the Chicago game for.
They need to take Dallas off of Thanksgiving this year.
I bet they wish they could, but
put the cheerleaders out there.
I don't think they should take them off. I think they should have the Commanders play them on Thanksgiving. I think that would make my Thanksgiving so much better. You have no idea.
Playing 2 weeks in a row. Okay.
So
back to back.
So it looks like Sunday, November 24th, Keon's favorite day.
Pre-Thanksgiving.
So here we have Blender versus Blender. We got the Arizona Cardinals, who are 6-4, visiting the lowly Seahawks in Seattle in a wet and soggy game. Yeah. Well, they are 6-4. You're 5-5. So
yeah. Oh, that's the reason. Oh, that makes sense. I just wanted to understand your methodology. Okay.
But here's the thing: this could be trouble for the Arizona Cardinals. Slickery, all that water, all that wetness. And it makes me think about little Kyler Murray out there trying to throw the ball and people trying to catch it, and it's just too slippery, And then now Kyler runs around in grass. What does he do? Well, he's hurt himself again. So there's a lot of things you got to worry about. You already know you're going to be playing on a slip and slide. So Keon, what do you think? Is this an evenly matched game? Do you think that the Arizona Cardinals can handle their business handily against the Seahawks?
Well, I don't know if it's going to be one of those situations where they do it handily, but I think that the Cardinals are going to show up and compete really well. And I like the fact that there's, weather involved. I think that for the Cardinals, what they want to do is ground and pound you to death anyway. So, operating
big running back committee.
Big running
some
back
good
committee.
guys.
I mean, you've got James Conner, you've got Trey Benson, you've got
the avocado.
Demery Amarcado. So like those guys as a committee have been playing really, really well. It's taken a lot off of Kyler's plate. And now you can just ask Kyler to basically link up with Marvin Harrison Jr. and Trey McBride. And that's been working out pretty well. I think the Seahawks defense still gives up those yards. So I like that. And I think the Cardinals defense has been playing much better as of late too. I'm going to take the Cardinals.
I was going to take the Seahawks. I have it circled here on my paper and everything. But now I'm like, well, how did the Seahawks do against the run, Ralph?
Well, prior to 2 weeks ago, not very well. But then they made this little trade for this guy called Ernest Jones. And since then, very well. Matter of fact, they held McCaffrey to 79 yards last week? They stifled the Niners offense last week. That defense is back. They've gotten healthy. They're good against the run again, finally. But if you look prior to the last 2 weeks, their run game was terrible.
Disaster.
It is a completely different defense with Ernest Jones, and they got rid of one of their other linebackers, and they have a rookie starting at the other end, and it has looked really good, really good.
So, do you trust this defense, Keon, to do what he's saying? Stop the run?
I think we have to see. I'm not going to try and say that they've completely turned the season around after like 2 weeks of sample size. So, to me, it's a wait and watch thing. But this is a really good committee. If they can slow this committee down running the football, I'll buy it. But at this particular point, like stifling the Niners in that run game, lots of teams have been doing that this year. Like that's not just a Seahawks thing. So,
well, Keon is decided. You're going with the Cardinals.
I'm going with the Cardinals.
I'm undecided. I was going to go with the Seahawks, but now I'm just like, well, we've seen the Seahawks defense kind of not be great, and they won't even have to be great against Kyler Murray. They just have to be great against the run, and that is an area of concern. I don't know. You're right. The Cardinals defense has been pretty good lately. I don't know. I'm going to let these guys tell me what they think, and I don't know, maybe I'll get some more information. Let Ralph go first. Who do you got on this there? Cardinals?
When you're talking about when you're talking about the Seahawks defense, so they've been very good against the pass. Now they're healthy. With Tariq Woolen back, the way Witherspoon's playing, the way their safety, that secondary is amazing. It's a good secondary. And now that you have Ernest Jones and Travis Knight at linebacker stopping the run and getting pressure on the quarterback, it's a different looking team the last 2 weeks. So they held the Niners under 20 points for the first time in I think 5 or 6 meetings against each other. So this was a big deal last week. It was a big win for them. Geno with the game-winning drive at the end of the game, that was huge. Geno is going to have a field day against that Cardinals secondary, in my opinion. I really think he's going to pick them apart. That's my opinion. I think Njigba Smith is all of a sudden found himself, and he's had a good 2-3 games. DK Metcalf is coming off the first week he was healthy. He'll be better this week. I really like the Seahawks in this game. I mean, I like them a lot. I think it's a great game, but I think the Seahawks win this game. And once the day is over, they'll be the first place team in the NFC West.
Oh, woo.
I know, big deal, right? But that's the reality. I think they're better than the Cardinals. If you look at the Cardinals last few weeks, who have they beaten? This isn't the Jets, Cardinals. You're not playing the Jets. You're not playing the Bears. This is a better defense and a way better offense. So have fun with that. Dolphins with his first game back, though, and he didn't look great. So I'm sorry, Cardinals. Right. This isn't an easy team you're playing, and you're in Seattle, and it's going to be wet. Have fun.
Now I've sort of leaned back towards the Seahawks. We'll see if the man can do it. Here he is with his pick in this week's showdown in the NFC West with the Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks.
I think that you keep putting too much emphasis on the weather. The weather doesn't bother the Big Red Sea. As a matter of fact, the weather, bring it on, Jack. Slow, sleet, hail, it doesn't matter. Because this Cardinals team is a mighty force to be reckoned with, Ralph, and I think you know that. You say all these nice complimentary things about your stink chickens from the sea that smell like seaweed and rotten jellyfish. But you know what the truth is? I think you're actually afraid of the big red menace that is going to show up in your stadium and wreak havoc and tear out the seats and do harm to your players and then leave with the lead in the NFC West. Count it down. The Cardinals 56 and the Sea Hags 1.
One.
Yeah, one.
Wait, again, remind me
again
because
and
the
one
defense against a field goal. Is that how you do it?
Yes, that's exactly right. One. That's all you're going. That all day long. They will be running on your
It would have to
defense.
It would have to somehow be a safety on an extra point.
The day of the Uno.
It's the only way that could happen.
I'd like to see that happen. On an extra point.
They can
So
run back
it would
a
have
field
to
goal
be
attempt.
blocked
to run all
the way back to the other end zone, and then the kicking team would have to recover it, and then be tackled in the end zone.
Well, it would be one.
I can see that.
It could happen.
I'll be honest. You guys didn't help me at all. I don't even know what to think. I don't know who to pick.
Take Seattle. I'm telling you, I'm not even saying it for any other reason. Seattle is the better team.
Well, a lot of people on the text line have a lot to say about this game. So let's take a break. When we come back, we will let them have that. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
When you're hiring, ZipRecruiter's technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. What if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Let's say you've got questions. You're looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Well, Harmon Solar has the answers. Hi, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and listen, there's a couple of ways you can go here. One, visit harmonsolar.com, browse around, because right across the page, they got links to all sorts of great information, like frequently asked questions, equipment, tax credits, even testimonials. Or just give them a call, 800-281-3189. Ask them directly. They'd love to hear from you. That's 800-281-3189. Or just go to harmonsolar.com.
The Fanatic is your home for fall football. Catch the NFL and NCAA live games on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Brought to you by Bet365. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Direct savings and client focus, the cornerstones of the Diamond Dave philosophy.
Hi, I'm Diamond Dave Cantor. My team and I at Desert Wholesale Diamond can be your trusted friends with an inside scoop on the diamond world.
Just like they are to thousands of people around the world.
And just like we have been for over 34 years.
At Diamond Dave's, it's all about the diamonds and the savings, not paying for high-end retail locations or the overhead of a mall.
You stand to save big time with our by appointment professional office approach combined with direct importing.
When you choose Diamond Dave's, you choose huge savings, top quality, and excellent service. Call, email, or message us for an in-person appointment.
Or sit back and relax for free FedEx shipping anywhere in the USA.
Call Diamond Dave at 480-397-2450. That's 480-397-2450. Or follow him on Instagram at Diamond Dave Cantor. That's at Diamond Dave, Kantor.
I got a line.
He got a line.
She got a line.
We got 4 lines. Cricket Nation, Q-finger guns, really easy, super stress-free. 5G so fast, like blazing fast, games and memes, you'll have a blast. You can get past 5G across 4 lines. You can get past 5G across 4 lines. As we discuss, take it from us. We for our one Cricket Nation.
And only $25 a line. Welcome to more lines. Welcome to Cricket Nation. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Discount varies by line. Fees may apply. Terms and restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
My name is Mary Grace. There are a few misconceptions about Alzheimer's. It's not just memory loss. It's the loss of mobility, the risk of falling.
For more information, contact the Alzheimer's Association at alz.org. Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
If it's local, we talk about it. 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic. The Fanatic.
Today's Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Mr. Roboto, are you putting a bet down? He says Cardinals 56, Sea Chickens 1. Made my day. Thank you, Randy.
Yep.
Can you bet on that? Is that something you could actually put a bet on?
The score?
56-1?
Just anybody ever scoring a 1.
I don't know. I don't even think a sports book would list it.
Yeah, you're probably right. But
It's
hey,
possible.
if
It can
Randy
happen.
predicts it, it
Yeah.
could happen.
I mean, it could happen.
A lot of people
It
believe.
is mathematically possible, but let's be honest.
Weso Grande says Randy is the best pumper upper. Go Cards, slay the Sea Chickens.
I like that.
Pumper upper. Golden
I like
Domer says 1 point safety. I looked it up. It's true. Did I actually learn something on this stupid show?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we're against it, but it happens. Just another face in the crowd says, Keon, I hope you don't lose your phone on Sunday for about 4 hours.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about, just another face in the crowd?
Literally, what are you talking about?
What you talk about, Willis?
Latina Leprechaun says, Dear God, somebody tell Ralph to shut the F up.
Dang. It's a lot of talk for somebody that did something in their pants.
Wow.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hard one to forget.
Like I said, Latina Leprechaun, I wouldn't have said
Just-
that out loud.
We might have to put her in Witsec and give her a new text
Just give me a
nickname.
text or nickname. I mean, look,
Cheese grater.
I hear what you're saying, but you couldn't have waterboarded that information out of me. That is rough.
You have underestimated Ralph's pettiness right there.
Oh, yeah.
Rough.
Extremely
Yeah.
petty.
Moist One says we lost to the Giants, though.
Yeah, the
Seahawks
The
fan.
Seahawks did. That was their worst game of the year.
Maya D says, tell Superfan to slow his roll on the Sea Chickens there. It's talking to you, Ralph.
I'll be on Monday.
Uh,
How about that? Win or lose, I'll be on Monday.
at Randy's discretion.
Randy won't connect me on Monday.
Just keeps getting in there and click. You know, like they have those little boxes where you turn on the switch and the hand comes out and turns it off. That'll be Hefty Laffy says, remember, moisture is the essence of wetness, and wetness is the essence of beauty. Therefore, the Seahawks game will be a gloomy mess, and we should all just watch Zoolander. I've never seen Zoolander, to be honest.
I've never seen
That's
it
probably
either.
a good thing.
Okay. Didn't know if I was missing something.
You're
there.
not missing a thing.
Latina Leprechaun says, way to play dirty, Ralph. Have to bring up something embarrassing
Oh,
like that, huh,
oh,
Ralph?
No.
Well,
Speaking
at least
of-
I
you know-
don't have crabs, Ralph.
Oh,
Speaking,
no.
speaking of dirty,
Yeah,
Ralph has crabs.
that's her name. Should be Dirty Leprechaun.
That's
Dirty. Well, I'm
Oh,
not going
boy.
to tell you. If she changes her name, I'm not telling you what it is.
I'm going to change it for her when I get into the text line this Sunday.
She'll tell me and I'll just change it back. I'll change the
But
password.
you'll read it because you won't think about it.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe at first. Big George says, after hearing all that bravado from Ralph about how the Seahawks are going to win big against the Cardinals, can we have a bet like with Donnie where he says he won't text in for the rest of the year if the Raptors win tonight against the Timberwolves? Ralph, if the Cardinals win, will you agree to do us all a favor and stay off these fine airwaves for the rest of the year?
No.
He'll take the money from Harmon Solar with him, George. So I can't agree with this one. But some sort of punishment should be in order.
Punishment for speaking facts?
Well, they're not facts if the Cardinals beat you.
I gave you facts on why they beat them.
No, it's okay. Stop trying to get out of it. Something has to happen if the Cardinals beat the Seahawks.
Okay. What has to happen?
I don't know, Randy. What do you think? Should he just make him wear a Cardinals hat
Yes,
for a show?
that would be fine.
Next
They have to wear a
Thursday
Cardinal
show.
hat.
Next
And then-
Wednesday. By the way, everything we do on Thursday, we're looking to do next Wednesday next week.
And what does Randy do when they lose the Cardinals?
He puts a dead Seahawk on his head.
I need more.
What more? Why would you need more than a dead bird on Randy's head?
Randy will go shirtless next Wednesday.
Don't even have to ask him twice.
we've had to ask him not to.
Yeah, that's been a struggle, Ralph. What are you doing?
I didn't say pantless. I said shirtless.
sure you want all this?
Oh, dear God.
Every inch.
Oh,
I feel like just wearing each other's team, representing the,
I have a Cardinal hat. That's fine.
you got a Seahawks hat somewhere in the trash?
Hell,
Randy?
no.
I've got a ton of them I can send you.
You just want to just print a picture of a Seahawk and tape it over your hat?
I will.
That'll work.
I will come up with something.
I feel like that's
Oh,
appropriate.
no.
Trying to.
I
Somebody
will
said
drive to your house and give you a hat. I know where you live.
Somebody said something about something, and I was trying to open up another screen, and now I can't remember why. So, Hey, we can pick the crappy games now if you guys want to.
Let's do it.
We should talk about the Grey Cup since me and you both watched it.
What was it? That weirdness.
We watched it.
I got on Monday morning and saw Ralph posting that him and I watched the Grey Cup together. First off, you and I have never watched a game together except for me, like harassing you with text messages.
We watched the Grey Cup and smoked opium.
Here's how I know.
Smoked
Here's
opium.
here's a great way to prove this. Jeffrey, who was in the Grey Cup?
Not a clue.
Exactly.
Yeah, you knew because we were pulling for the Argos. You know this.
Who are they playing, Ralph?
They were playing Winnipeg Bombers.
Okay.
I watched the game with him.
All we've confirmed is that you've watched the game.
No, we watched it together.
So is that like some
We have
lie
not
you told
confirmed
your
that.
wife?
Why are you lying?
Was I supposed to be your alibi for your wife or
Just,
something?
where was Ralph? Oh, yeah, he was over at Jeffrey's.
Remember we
watching
saw the halftime show with the Jonas Brothers?
Oh God!
We commented on that.
First off, I'm never, ever, ever going to watch a Grey Cup in Canadian football. Second, Jonas Brothers. That's even more reason to never, ever, ever watch that game.
Can I tell you that watching that Grey Cup was like watching somebody trying to make a Super Bowl happen? Like it was horrendous. Like the halftime show was horrendous.
I don't know why you watched that on purpose. And I Googled it, and the Jonas Brothers did perform at halftime.
I told you, I watched it.
I didn't believe you. I thought you were making that up.
I'm not.
I thought one of them
Why?
died. Didn't one of them die?
The Jonas Brothers?
No, you're thinking of One Direction.
Oh, One Direction, 6 feet under. Right off the roof. All right. So Scratch Me Because says, why would anybody purchase anything from Ralph?
Purchase?
We're not buying anything from Ralph.
I'm not selling you anything. What are you talking about?
Hefty Lefty says, cocaine's a hell of a drug, Ralph.
I have no comment.
Leprechaun, Latina Leprechaun says, well, time for me to go to the YouTube feed to see Naked Randy.
She's admitting that you're going to
naked.
lose.
Nobody said naked, just shirt, just nothing else. Wessel Grande says, oh, I am so forgetful. I forgot to say, suck it, Ralph. Cards 28, Seattle 14.
Dream.
Just another face in the crowd says, oh, I only said that because my phone seems to get lost during football games. Where? I mean, what? Golden Domer says, leave Ralph alone. Not supposed to make fun of the kids on the short bus. You're not allowed to do that anymore.
Jeez.
Devil Hawk says, I haven't heard a bigger blowhard like Ralph on the radio since Rush Limbaugh.
Have you ever seen the movie? Have you ever seen the movie The Ringer?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you need to watch. He reminded me
of
The
The Ringer. Who's in The Ringer? Who's in that?
What's that comedian's name? Oh my gosh.
It must not be that funny.
It's really funny.
Mr. Roboto says, speaking of the Grey Cup, earlier today, my dispatcher told me to leave a job site using the expression take off. Other words, Bob and Doug McKenzie, you're welcome. Take off, hoser.
The Ringer with Johnny Knoxville?
Johnny Knoxville.
Oh, he's not a comedian. He's a dumbass.
He plays a short bus guy in the Olympics, in the Special Olympics. It's like when he said that about short bus, I started thinking about that. It's one of the funniest movies you'll ever watch. Watch it. Trust me. Watch this movie. You will be on the floor.
Scratch Me Because. No. Hefty Lefty says, wait, when the bleep did we get ice cream?
There you go. One of the greatest lines in the movie.
That's the greatest line.
It's hilarious. I'm telling you, it's hilarious.
Last Optimist says, just learned Moist One is no longer tweeting on Twitter. He's moved on to Skeet on Blue Sky. He says, yes, that is officially what the Blue Sky poster called. I don't think that is.
Skeet.
I'm going to go skeet, skeet, skeet. I'm not, I mean, just
skeet.
Don't think that's true. I don't understand why we, so now we have like 3 Twitters. There's original Twitter, and then there's Threads, which was Zuckerberg's version.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's Blue Sky. They all do and look and act exactly the same. How many places do we got to post this show? This is just getting...
And nobody watches the other ones.
Ridiculous.
The other ones are tiny.
What do you mean?
Twitter's where you want to be, X or whatever you want to call it. That's where everybody is.
I don't know.
People go to have tantrums on the other one, then they come back.
The thing is, everybody, if you go to another place, the trolls will come follow you over there anyway.
There'll be trolls
So,
everywhere.
taking your ball and going home just never made any sense to me. I mean, you're thinking you're going to go get a peaceful place, a nice place where, oh, this is nice. Yeah, it's not going to last. It'll only be a matter of minutes before it all follows you there. So I don't know. I think the place it's at is Facebook. All right. I'm old.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part, they accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Terms and conditions apply.
My pain is considerable, but that prescription is dangerous.
The side effects of my medicine are worse than my condition.
I'm in recovery. I can't take those pills.
When faced with a health crisis, you shouldn't have to choose between risks. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our medical doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. Our naturopathic doctors can restore pain-free joint function and restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves immediate physical symptoms without having you take a bunch of pills. If traditional medicines aren't working, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's time to take Randy out of the mix minus. Is that it? Everything good? Okay. Yep. Take two. It's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Keon Rose in the control room. Ralph from Harmon Solar is with us. And you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Why, Keon, I think that one almost made a tooth come out.
Yeah, I mean, I shocked myself.
So before we go say hello to Scott, the fantasy football king, Engel. Actually, no, let's bring him into this. Let's bring him in. Hey, Scott, how you doing, man?
Good. How are you guys? I'll tell you, it's the weather out there for Pittsburgh and Cleveland looks worse than the Phoenix Suns starting lineup.
Why you got to go there? Why you got to do that? Why you got to do that? They're hurt. They're hurt, Scott. They're hurt.
I'm sorry, Jalen Brunson came to town and owned them again.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, let's see how that game goes when we get our boys back. All
King
right?
comes in swinging.
I know.
Love it.
Let's see what.
Let's see how things go when we get our boys back.
Okay. All
Well,
right.
We'll
I
have.
got nothing against the Suns. I just had the trash talk. But
So-
the weather is real bad tonight. I got to start off with that. I know you're the host of the show, but I don't mean to take over driving from you. But
No, I don't care.
it's so bad tonight. I recommending you pull all Steelers and Browns out of your players out of your lineup, other than Najee Harris. And if you have to, you can use the Cleveland defense.
There you go. There you
We're
go.
talking wind gusts upwards of 30 miles an hour. Now, just to talk about weather in fantasy football, when people see rain, they automatically panic. So they see snow, they automatically panic. I was just telling somebody a little while ago, I remember a game like about 20 years ago or so. It's Kerry Collins throwing like 4 touchdown passes in the snow. It's not rain. It's not snow. The most important thing is the wind. When you're getting wind 15 to 20 miles an hour and the wind gusts are higher, that plays all kinds of havoc with the passing game. It could snow, and then, the wind is light, and it's not a big deal because that gives an advantage to the offense because the defense can't get their footing as well. The rain doesn't always completely play havoc, but when you're talking about all three factors converging, we're talking about fantasy worries. People will automatically worry about the weather if they see a light rain out there. But, you really have to have the context.
All right. Well, let me introduce you right. Here's a man who would lead the league in penalties of any sport he would ever play. It's Scott, the fantasy football king Engel. He's a senior writer for rotoballer.com, official fantasy writer for Seahawks.com. He's an inaugural member of the Fantasy Sports Writers Association Hall of Fame. You can catch him on Rotoballer on Sirius XM, Fantasy Sports Radio. He's all over the socials at Scott E. the King. Hey, did you go over the Blue Sky thing and put your flag down?
I'm on social media. People can find me at Scotty the King on X. Haven't considered it. And, I'm here for fantasy football, not for any political discussion.
No, okay, well, I'm just saying. I don't care. I'd stay on anything. I don't give a damn what people are arguing about. But I just want to give
me neither. It's
wherever the people are. That's where you got to go.
Very used to X/Twitter. Based on comfort for so many years. I don't get into politics. I don't think anybody cares about my political views. They just want to know who to start and who to sit.
So you're not
dancing
on
something like Blue Sky. Everybody gets all sorts of opinions that I'm not interested in generating.
Well, are you dancing on TikTok?
Not yet, but I should be, right?
Yeah,
I'm pretty good at karaoke.
It's basically that is the entry level drug to OnlyFans. So someday you'll have an OnlyFans too.
Yeah, people will want to pay me to turn the camera off.
Yeah, I got to hold them for ransom.
Yeah.
But once I get enough money, I'll turn it off.
Yeah, I got a face for radio, like the old joke goes.
So Scott, before we get into the fantasy football, real quick, they just announced it that Aaron Judge has won his second unanimous AL MVP award.
Yeah, I'm happy for him because I actually sat with Judge in 2017, helping with a fantasy football charity draft, and he'd never played fantasy football before. And although so many major league players play fantasy football, every major league clubhouse has a fantasy football league. Should send somebody out next July or August, especially August, to a Diamondbacks game, and you can interview all the players about fantasy football. You guys will get great content. I can guarantee it. But with Judge, just the nicest guy to the media, to the fans, anybody. It's well deserved, of course. But just a real nice guy, and I'm happy for him.
Well, before we get to the fantasy football questions of the listeners, let's give the Daily Blender crew a chance to ask a couple of questions themselves. Ralph, you want to go first? You got any questions
Sure.
for the king?
Yeah. I noticed that you avoided Otani one too, but that's okay.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he just won.
I know. I saw that.
I know you know because
I actually saw that.
I assumed it. I'm not avoiding it.
No, not
obviously,
you. I'm talking about
you know,
Jeff.
a lot of you make a really good case for Francisco Lindor, although he didn't put up the massive offensive numbers that Otani did. He was more of a two-way player than Otani was.
Yeah, no, I was talking more about Jeff, just avoiding him because he didn't want to talk about that.
Okay.
It's because he's a Dodger and he doesn't want to talk about winners. Anyway.
Hey, douchebag, it's Jeffrey.
I think I did what you just said. So I have Jerry Jeudy, so I just pulled him out of my lineup. And that's exactly what I should do, right?
Yeah. What's your other option? Just
well,
curious.
I have at flex I put in Zach Ertz.
No, not crazy about it, but I can't see anything happening with Pickett tonight.
Okay.
Zach Ertz is a guaranteed 8 to 10 points. There's no upside there.
And I'm thinking against the Cowboys, I mean, he might have a big game.
He might have get 11. Yeah.
At one point.
Yeah.
I want to pull James Conner out just because he's a Cardinal playing the Seahawks, but I'm going to leave him in. Let's see here.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't base it on your allegiance. I remember being at a tailgate one time at a Jet game and a guy telling me, I can't play fantasy football because I can't root against the Jets. And I said, as much I respect, how you root for the Jets because it's painful to begin with and, usually futile. But, you can't root against something. You can't let your allegiance play into fantasy football, making your decisions because here's what you do, Ralph. It's that the likelihood of the Seahawks shutting out the Cardinals is next to nothing, and it's usually very often rarely happens in an NFL game. At least when the other team scores a touchdown, it helps your fantasy game. You still hope fantasy team, and you still hope the Seahawks win.
So I agree with you. Last thing for defense, I have the Buccaneers and I have the Bears. Who should I start?
I definitely go with Tampa Bay against the Giants. In fact, one of my leagues, I just cut the Bears for the Browns, but Tampa Bay against Tommy Cutlets, I think I gotta like it.
Okay, thank you, Scott.
Well,
yeah, sure.
I'll keep you on defenses. I got the Browns starting against the Steelers. But I could have Green Bay starting against the 49ers or even the Rams against Philadelphia. What do you think?
I would use the Rams. If Brock Purdy doesn't play, but you can't wait to make that decision. So you just go with the Browns tonight.
All right. I don't think I have any other questions. Everything else is pretty well straightforward for me. Do you, you know what? There was somebody who, do you trust Xavier Worthy again? Do you feel like that this is somebody that you should be given a look to? I mean, he kind of dipped for a while, but then he's starting to look like maybe he's getting his mojo back.
Yeah, there's no statistical floor there, but there's a lot of upside. You certainly got to like him against Carolina.
All right. Keon, what do you got? Any questions for the King?
I do. One, should I go with Tank Dell or Jawan Jennings?
Definitely Jawan. Well, it depends. If Purdy plays, you definitely go with Jawan Jennings. Huge game last week. Tank Dell's more bull or bust.
Okay, and then my second question is, I've gotten a nice run out of Kareem Hunt. He's been pretty decent in the absence of Pacheco. Is that run finally over?
It's looking that way. We haven't seen anything officially. We could be looking at a timeshare this week, though, because it'll be Pacheco's first game back, and I don't think they need to overuse him against Carolina. The spread is -11, though, and I was writing about this today, and it's going to be published on the Alabama website for Advanced Local, AL.com. The spread is 11. For the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's too large. They've only won 2 games in double figures this year. And, that's looking at the Chiefs like the dominant Chiefs of the past. They're 9-1. They're still a very good team, but, Carolina's actually won 2 in a row. So I think that spread's too large.
And I think that's it for me. Thank you very much.
All right.
Sure.
Well, we didn't have tons of questions. So what do you say we get right over to the super fans of the Fourth Dimension? 888-368-1580. Questions for Scott, the Fantasy Football King Engel. Here we go. Hefty Lefty says, happy Lakers game day, Mr. the King.
All right, I got nothing against the Lakers. In fact, if you didn't watch that series on HBO about the '80s Lakers, it's fantastic.
Oh yeah, I've been meaning to watch that. I got to get the flu or something.
Fantastic. A lot of fiction, but fantastic regardless.
You mean Jerry West isn't a crazy alcoholic?
No, but still, like the character's so good. It's like I read the book. I read Jeff Pearlman's book, so I know what's true and what's not. The second season has a lot more truth in it, but it's still entertaining as hell.
All right. Well, Hefty Lefty wants to know Dowdle or Pollard.
I don't like either one of these really, but I'll go with Pollard because that game might be a little more high scoring.
Because I got Pollard too. I got Pollard and Chubba Hubba, but I also Javonte Williams. I got him in the flex. Should I find somebody else for the flex and elevate Javonte Williams and get rid of Pollard? Or
if you could use Hubbard over Pollard, I would certainly do that. I mean, the guy's coming up 153-yard rushing game, the best of his career high 6 rushing touchdowns, and Jonathan Brooks not going to quite make an impact just yet.
Well, right. I got Hubba in with Pollard. What I'm saying is Javonte Williams, should he take the place of Pollard?
No, because you just don't know what Sean Payton's going to do with that backfield. I like the matchup. I will say this. If you want a gun for some statistical upside, you go with Javonte Williams, but it could be a dud. Audric Estime could have the better game, or even Jaleel McLaughlin. Who knows with Peyton? If you want the guaranteed carries, you go with Pollard.
Got it. Hefty Lefty also says Steelers tonight or Chiefs against the Petty Panthers.
Steelers get over everyone. My number one ranked defense in my updated lineup ranks on rotoballer.com right now.
All right.
Jameis Winston might throw 9 interceptions in this weather.
Wow. That'd be amazing. Slave Dave says, should I play Sam Darnold or Baker Mayfield?
Darnold is good to go, but I like Mayfield to match up better, and he gets Mike Evans back.
All right. Berg wants to know if Chubb is a lock tonight, right?
No way. Honestly, if you think because of the weather they're going to run the ball, but, Chubb is coming along after this major injury. It's great to see him back on the field, but he hasn't shown too much running yet. He's playing against the Steelers. The Steelers are not total lockdown against running backs, but Chubb is not a lock. If this was 2022, Chubb would be a lock, but certainly not tonight. It depends on what your other option is if you want to fire back with the follow-up question.
Jonesy says, the King.
Hey.
I have Njigba and Metcalf on my team. I feel like Njigba is becoming the number one guy. You told me otherwise last week, but he scored more points. Thoughts?
Well, he scored more points, but DK Metcalf is still the Seahawks' number one wide receiver. He's the one that defenses game plan around. He's the one with the most upside, et cetera. Jackson Smith and Jigga benefits from that, and will continue to benefit from that. They're two. It's like when Tyrell Lockett was in his prime a few years ago. Him and Metcalf were both top 15 wide receivers very often, and now you'll have the same thing.
We are at the halfway point between then and now, and then, of course, the Thursday night football with the matchup between the Steelers and the Browns. I say we take a quick break, come back, and answer more questions at 888-368-1580 for Scott, the Fantasy Football King Engel, right here on 1580, The Fanatic.
William is one of millions of Americans who uses GoodRx to save on the cost of their prescriptions.
My oldest daughter, Camilla, 2 days old, she had to have open heart surgery. All of a sudden, she's on 5 different medications. It adds up at the end of the month. Me and the pharmacist got so tight. She said, GoodRx save you a lot of money. Saving that extra $200-300 a month. We're able to do all these extra activities. So it puts less stress on our household, and it puts less stress on our pockets.
Download the free app or visit GoodRx.com and start saving today. GoodRx user compensated for their time. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance.
Customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. After that, you can also save me, as I'm currently hanging from the edge of a cliff. To recap, number 1, customize and save. Number 2, time allowing, save me. Shoulders separating.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com. Savings may vary, underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates, excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
I got a line.
He got a line.
She got a line.
We got 4 lines. Cricket Nation, 2 finger guns, really easy, super stress-free. 5G so fast, like blazing fast. Games and memes, you'll have a blast. You can get past 5G across 4 lines. You can get past 5G across 4 lines. As we discuss, take it from us. We for our one Cricket Nation.
And only $25 a line. Welcome to more lines. Welcome to Cricket Nation. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Discount varies by line. Fees may apply. Terms and restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
All right, so there we were, cruising through the new open-air zoo when I realized that the park was closing in like 15 minutes. That's when the afternoon took an exciting turn. Luckily, we were in my Nissan Rogue. With its powerful DC turbo engine, well, we had more than enough time to see all the animals. Whoa. And outrun a few.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now, Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000 MSRP. Shop at your local Nissan store or at nissanusa.com. 2024 Nissan Altima, Kicks, Leaf, Rogue, Sentra, and Versa. All prices are manufacturer's suggested retail price. Manufacturer's suggested retail price excludes destination and handling charges, tax, title, license, and options. Dealer sets actual prices.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Live and local.
Today, the blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Special note, Sweet Jumpin' Jeeves, can you people between me and Queen Creek get off the damn freeway? Can you hurry it up? Because it looks like it'll take an hour and 20 minutes for me to get home. So could you guys just get the hell off the roads, please? Thank you. Just get off the freeway. Just get out of my way. Just clear the freeway. And it might take you a few more minutes to get home, but it's really about me right now. So please, it's just a special program note. Thank you. All right, we got Scott, the Fantasy Football King Engel. Are you ready for Thanksgiving, Scott? Are you ready? This got to be a fun day for you. You've got football all day on Thursday. You got the Black Friday football. That's got to be fun for you, right?
Oh yeah, it's certainly very busy in good ways.
Are you spending the Thanksgiving with family there, or are you just working hard and eating your green bean casserole at your desk right there?
No, it's with family, thankfully. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're not the guy who cooks it. You just show up and eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, me
pretty
too.
much. Yeah.
All right, let's get back to the Foon. Big George says, Scott Engel, how are you?
I'm doing good. Hope you're good, doing good well.
I'd love to tell you the rest of that, but we got the thinky wheel. There it is. He goes, question, would you start Ladd McConkey, Juwan Jennings, or Quentin Johnson in the flex?
I would certainly go with Ladd McConkey. Check on the shoulder injury, but it's a great matchup for him this week.
Seabass says, I have a question for Scott E. King. Which would you start in a wide receiver position? Quentin Johnson, Rashad Bateman, or Demarcus Robinson?
Again, Quentin Johnson, that Monday night game, the Brother Bowl of the two hardball coaches. Quentin Johnson got 6 touchdown receptions. He's breaking out as a downfield receiver for the surprising Chargers in year 2. And the Ravens have the worst pass defense in the NFL.
So what team are you picking to win that game?
I think I got to go with Baltimore to bounce back.
Thank you. 888-368-1580. Skosh says, can I ask a question of Scott King Fantasy Master? Okay, first off, Skosh, he's from Nova Scotia. That's why we call him Skosh. It's just Scott the King or Mr. the King.
He's trying to show respect. I appreciate it. I really do.
Jared Goff or Brock Purdy, he says.
I don't know if Purdy's going to play. So best to check back tomorrow night with me at Scotty the King on social media. And with this Blue Sky thing, it's just like I'm slow to like pick up on new social media because I just get so used to a certain platform.
Yeah.
You know, it has nothing to do with political affiliations either way. It's just I'm so used to Twitter/X, and you know, you build up such a following there, and then you got to do it all over again. I'm too lazy for that.
Well, I found I can be snarky anywhere, so I just open one up, plop it down, and then just start firing everything everywhere. It's a shotgun blast.
I know you're married, but were you snarky on Christian Mingle before you were married?
I've never needed online dating. That's look at me. I mean, if you could see me, you'd understand. I didn't need online dating.
He sounds like one of these guys. Like, I don't go to strip clubs. I don't need that. I've never been to one.
Yeah, yes.
But I haven't.
Okay, right. Yeah, all right. And the Suns have won a championship.
Who was it I heard? Who was it?
Wow.
There's a comedian who's like, I get my boobies free range. I don't need to go there for that.
I'm saying now, yeah, but you know, don't tell me you didn't go before you were married. You know, there are guys when single guys say, you know, I don't go. I've never been. Like,
the closest I got was
I go back to Beavis and Butthead, and I'm like, wire.
I honestly didn't. I just didn't. The closest I got was I was doing stand up, and in between comedians, they had mud wrestling, and they had strippers doing the mud wrestling. Does that count?
I believe 90% of everything you say, and this is the 10% that I don't.
All right, well, I live with that then. I don't care. Let's see here. Underpainter says.
Give him a Dr. Pepper.
What's that?
Give him a Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, I don't care for it. Thank you. Underpainter says, do I start Njoku from the Browns or Johnson from the Dolphins?
Johnson from the Dolphins?
I don't know. That's what he typed.
Hold on. The joke.
Talking about tight
Johnson
end
on the Dolphins that I'm aware of.
We don't know what you're
I
talking
think
about.
He might mean Janu Smith, and I'm sitting David Njoku with the weather tonight. I'd go with Janu Smith if that's who he means.
Well, here's his second question. He says, in the flex, Chuba Hubbard or Nicky Chubby from the Browns?
I'd go with Hubbard. I haven't seen enough. I know it's Kansas City that Hubbard is playing against, but I can't do it.
Fecal Miss wants to know, would you start Kyler or Herbert?
I'm probably going Herbert there. I mean, Baltimore's got the worst pass defense in the NFL.
Moist One says, is that Alabama website you're talking about? He says, where you wrote that.
Yeah, AL.com, the sports betting section.
No, he says, no. He says, is that the site where the sister keeps getting stuck in the washing machine?
Oh, boy. Yeah, I thought this guy had some legitimate questions.
Yeah, I had to wait for the thinky wheel for the rest of that, and I should have known because it's Moist One. Dropping the soap says, hail to the king.
Hello.
He says, so because of the weather for tonight's game, should I get Tillman and Elijah Moore out of my lineups?
Yes.
There you
Definitely.
go. Bad fish.
Well, depends on who else you have. I mean, I'm not going to play Trey Tucker over either one of them, but it all depends on who else you have.
Bad fish wants to know, Devontae Smith or Marvin Harrison?
We don't know if Smith is going to play. Depends on if he practices tomorrow, but I do like Harrison and the Seahawks and against the Seahawks. Very important game between the Cardinals and the Seahawks this week, Jeff.
Yes, and there's been quite a few arguments over it, and I'm still sort of on the fence on which way I'm going to go with the pick. Who are you picking?
It's tough. Like you look right now, it's on DraftKings, and it's that the lines moved to the Seahawks being favored by a point. The Cardinals have really reeled off 4 consecutive wins. This is really just going to come down to who doesn't turn the ball over. It's like, of course, I want to say the Seahawks because I'm a Seahawks fan, but I can see, Jeff, where this is just a very tough pick. But the Seahawks came out strong out of the bye. I'm going to give them the lean, but I I only feel like about 20% confident of it.
Yeah.
This is truly a pick'em game.
Yeah, really, it really is. I actually started out picking the Seahawks, but I don't feel confident. I still am not sure.
But, if that Seahawks team that beat San Francisco shows up again, and it very well could, I don't think Arizona's beating them because they played well in every phase of the game. Getting Abe Lucas back and Olu playing well at center. One thing to watch, though, and this plays to Ralph talking about Connor, Leonard Williams was out of practice today. If Leonard Williams doesn't play, that's an advantage for Arizona, number one. And number two, it's an advantage for those who start Connor in fantasy football.
Got it. Supergirl says, hello, Mr. the King. Which one? Quarterback, Purdy or Sam Darnold?
We don't know if Purdy's going to play. Check back with me on the Sunday show with Ralph.
But if he was going to play, which one?
Oh, then I would go Purdy.
There
but,
you go.
We don't know if he's going to play, so I have to say that.
Gotcha.
Where's Latina Leprechaun?
She got mad at Ralph earlier. Ralph.
Yeah, but I'm back, though. Ralph, what did you do?
Oh, she deserved it.
She really did.
No, she did not.
No, she did.
Did she really?
Yeah, she deserved it.
Skosh says, why does Scott the King call you Jeff? I thought it was Jeffrey. It is, but whatever. I'm not going to get.
We're cool like that, me and him, right?
Are we? Okay.
I thought we were. Excuse me, Jeffrey.
Thank you.
Jeffrey.
Thank you, sir. Last Optimist says, Jonathan Taylor or Jalen Warren? He's worried that Detroit's going to shut him down.
You never bet Jonathan Taylor for Jalen Warren, regardless of the matchup.
Okay. Lost Toby says, Pittman, Thielen, or Ricky Pearsall?
Don't like any of them, but I'll take Pittman.
Jonesy says, I know you said bench any players for tonight, but I'm in a tough spot. Cedric Tillman or Jalen Warren, if you had to play one?
Jalen Warren, because at least I'm saying bench anybody involved in the passing game. I don't like Nick Chubb. I don't like the Cleveland running backs, but Najee Harris for sure. And, number two, Jalen Warren with that running game for Pittsburgh. They'll lean on it heavily, go with Jalen Warren, stay for play.
The music is playing. We're out of time, but Latina Leprechaun says, hi, Scott. I am here. I have the Cleveland defense tonight. Would you start Mike Evans this weekend? Is he healthy?
Hola, ¿qué tal? Yes, I would start, Mike Evans. He's good to go.
Megatron says, slow clap for the King. What a sensible take for a Seahawks fan.
Thank you. What a sensible take for a team that hasn't won a championship, I think, since 1957.
Wow.
That's just the left. That's the left hook for any Arizona sport but the Diamondbacks. Oh, well.
I got nothing against Arizona sports fans. It's trash talk.
Scott, have a great week. We will see you next Wednesday, and good luck to you and your own. And coming up next, it's Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Gil Alexander, host